real Siberius, and we about to get serious. It's the real Siberius, making fanboys furious.
Welcome everyone to the Wednesday Live. Speem, did you say that Robin is coming? He's just running late.
Yeah, he said he's just running a little late.
Oh, okay. Hey, no, that's fine. Shout out to everyone. Thank you, AOH and Speem, for being here. Always appreciate doing these guys with you. Because Robin is not here, Speem, if you could do some shout outs while people are starting to pile in, I would appreciate it.
Absolutely. Shout out to Robin for being late, making me do this. Shout out to Robin's plug for not getting him his stuff in time, so I have to do this. Shout out to Daniel Parker, 1200, Lynetta 402, Anthony Sanchez, Prozac. Good to see you, Prozac. Always in here. Appreciate you. Shout out to John Freeman 4973, Vodsky Chug, Spetka Fantasy. Who else we got in here? Trying to see if there's any of this is pro LeBron. I don't know how Robin does this so quickly and efficiently. Shout out to Maiko, Bandhead 07. Shout out to who else we got here? Go Fly 68. Shout out to the chat. Appreciate you guys being here. Appreciate this Wednesday energy. And I immediately would like to call attention to Siberius and his angry looking face. And we have questions.
Oh, I have answers. But both of you aren't going to like either of them.
I have no questions. You look wonderful. Thanks, everybody, for tolerating me being off camera. I am on the road for a job that almost, unlike the YouTube thing, but I'll get back on camera soon.
All right. So we do have our list of topics today. Who will be the next face of the league? Colin Cowherd says LeBron is mentally stronger than Jordan and more influential. No additions for the Warriors, which is crazy. What happened to Richard Dumas? And do you respect the MVP trophy? And we have a few other things that will be taking place. All of this is not in any particular order. I just like to write things out and we'll get to them as we get to them. We're certainly not prioritizing anything above anything else. But let's get to it. What are you guys interested in first? What's striking your fancy?
Go ahead. I'm easy.
All right then. Well, let's get
Siberius. What you got?
Who's going to be the next face of the league? I think that's an interesting question. I was going to say Speem went ahead and made this image for us. So Speem, kick us off. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, so the reason I wanted to bring this up is because I feel like there's always feedback that all we talk about is LeBron, and I think that's fair. So I wanted to steer the conversation. And all right, so then where's the future of the face of the league? I figured it's worth talking about. I know that we always talk about Victor Wembanyama and SGA, and I know that those are like the two names thrust down our faces, thrust down our throat every day, right? In terms of basketball fans, but there's a couple of their names in this graphic where I'm thinking to myself, why is there no push for these players? I think Anthony Edwards isn't talked about enough as being, pushed towards the face of the league. And I figure a name like that, or a name like Donovan Mitchell, I wanted to just kind of talk about it a little bit. Because Lord knows that, ESPN doesn't.
No, not at all. I'm going to be honest. My initial thought is Victor Wembanyama. I was going to say even though he got gentleman swept in the finals, they're still glazing him like he's something special. He's never, ever going to play 82 games in his career. They're just going to completely gloss over that fact. The fact that he's riddled with injuries, that he's done cheap shit and cowardly things, like not shaking hands, walking out on interviews. Despite all of those, they just always seem to stand behind somebody that has an abundance of negatives behind them, and then they just gloss over all of that. And I just can't see them not going all in on him, despite the fact that he hasn't proven anything. That's my take.
And not for nothing, I intentionally left Brunson off this list because, you know, he is the most important player on the team that just won a championship, and he's not talked about. Actually, no, I should say he should be in the dark horse section of this. I apologize for leaving him off, but for some odd reason, it didn't even come across bringing him up. But Brunson, you know, he should be on here.
True. I mean, I don't think ESPN would ever go for that. Like I think he's probably the most rightful to it, and he's done admirable things that even people have kind of spit in his face for. I was going to add it to the channel, but then I completely forgot. Somebody was knocking him for taking less money.
Carmelo Anthony was just knocking him.
Yeah. I was going to say Carmelo. And that's crazy. I can't even understand that logic. But I also don't like Carmelo, so it fits.
Robin's here too. Robin, I see you try to get a word in, I think.
No, once again, shout out to you guys. I was listening to what you guys were saying. I don't even know what you guys were talking about necessarily. You talking about the face of the league?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. Who do you think it should be? Who do you think they'll make it?
Yeah, well, the funny thing is that, you said that, Speem, you said, you don't want to, make it about LeBron James, and people say that, we talk about LeBron James all the time. Well, we say the same thing, the other way. Like say, like, we're not only talking about LeBron James all the time, but, everyone's talking about LeBron James, but, the narratives and all the things that we talk about, they continue to create. But when you talk about the face of the league and, how they promote, the other guys, so to speak, again, this is what we've been saying. Why don't they promote these players? Why do the other, the LeBron James fans, why are they the ones that continue to tear down the players? I mean, like I said, think about someone like Russell Westbrook we talked about in the last live show. Like, he's supposed to be one of the great players of that era, right? At the end of his career, but he's supposed to be one of the great players. And then when he plays with LeBron James, he's getting death threats. You have Luka Doncic on this graphic. He's playing with LeBron James barely 2 full seasons, and he has to reinvent himself. The first season he's playing with LeBron James, all of a sudden he's the problem when, like you said, he should be promoted as one of the best players in the league, because that's what he is. So it goes back to the LeBron James fan base, and them always continue to come out here and tear down the past players, tear down the players that could maybe, be the next, LeBron James or the next face of the league, so to speak. And that's part of the problem. Like you said, why doesn't ESPN talk about, remember we used to say, how come they're always talking about the Lakers in the offseason? Why are we talking about the freaking Lakers, man? They're always talking about the Lakers. All the Lakers, what are they going to do for LeBron James? We always said, you have Steph Curry at the top of this. How many times have we said, is Steph Curry going to get some help in the offseason? Steph Curry don't get no help. How much help has Steph Curry got this offseason? Even though he's been in the league for 1 billion years now, LeBron James continues to get all the help, and they promote that. But Steph Curry got his hands out. He got his arms out. Can I get some help?
AOH, what are your thoughts?
I'm glad that Robin brought up LeBron first, because Speem tried to make us look bad by saying we shouldn't bring him up. But
Don't do that.
My exact point is that if they kept promoting LeBron last year, as shitty as he was, why would they not promote him this year? I mean, they're already talking about him being the missing piece in Philly, even though he's riding the bus on a level he's never ridden the bus. They're talking about him as a bus rider, going back into the GOAT conversation because he's in Philly. Look, they're keeping the focus on LeBron James. I'm not sure why everybody thinks that they are moving on from LeBron James as the face of the league. And my other point is the point I make every time we bring this shit up. Why do we need a face of the league? This is a manufactured idea that it's important to name someone as the face of the league. This also is fairly new in NBA history.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, Airways. Like you said, it doesn't have to be a face of the league, but, the collective, the collective of the young players, like you guys said, they should be promoting.
Well, AOH, I think that's a great point. So my question to your point would be then, how do you change the marketing of the league from this point? So the face of the league, it's a tired narrative. I'll give you that. How do you market the NBA where it's an attractive sport again then?
Well, it's simple. You just change your marketing strategy. You go into the fucking conference room on Monday and you change your goddamn strategy. Their strategy right now is to keep LeBron James relevant. All they have to do is say, hey, let's make other people relevant.
I also think it has to do with, because the product on the court is subpar, they have to make it about individuals and not about the game. Because LeBron has done so much for making it about him. It's not about basketball. It's not about the team that he plays on. It's about him. And I think they keep trying to make money off of that. Like, that is their marketing strategy. And until they focus more on making it about basketball, quality basketball, it's always going to be a subpar product. And they're going to have to come up with gimmicks and schemes to try to make people more interested, because the game on the court isn't good enough to do it alone.
Well, yeah, you guys are saying some really good stuff right here. And Speam, I think, like, to the question that you asked AOH about the marketing, and how would you change it? Like, there's nothing wrong with marketing the individual player, the individual superstar. We've seen this, since, the 80s and the 90s, when they started to really, have those guys get the commercials and the shoe deals, right? But the thing is that we always talk about, those guys had the personalities to go with the advertisements. So not only did you have game, you had personality. These guys had charisma. To me, you had better personality. So like you were saying before, you don't even have to necessarily market the games of some of the players, but, do they have the personalities for you to really get behind? And a lot of these guys, like, think about SGA. Like, is he going to be the face of the league, man? I mean, like, he's out there wearing bras and stuff like that, And, I've seen some of the outfits that, SGA wears, and there's no knock on him. But what I'm saying is, like, how are you going to market these guys? Like, how are you supposed to get, like, John Morant? How are you going to market John Morant and really get behind him? You know what I'm saying? Like, some of these guys, it's hard for you to get behind the individual. That's what we were saying. Like, you don't necessarily need a face of the league right now, because you don't really have someone like that that's going to be able to take it, on a dominant basis. And all these guys collective are supposed to be pushed. I mean, even like the new guys we talk about, guys like Cooper Flag, guys coming in the league, Victor Wembanyama. Like, how are you supposed to promote, some of these guys, man? Like, it's the personalities. I mean, Anthony Edwards, he says crazy things and does crazy stuff. Like, how are you promoting him?
The wildest part about, or the most interesting part about that, of what you just said, Robert, is of all the faces on this list, they're really, you could probably say Curry has the closest thing to charisma, or like a natural likable person on this list. And it's even more heartbreaking that the league doesn't, keep him naturally where he should be, at the forefront of the league. I think it's a strong point that I mean, Luka, I think, has a natural, like, aggression to him where he wants to win, and that doesn't, like, you don't have to force that. But I think, with Donovan Mitchell, I think he seems like a tryhard sometimes when it's like, when he tries to put his stamp on the game and things like that. It doesn't seem like he's that angry of a person. I remember he had a press conference last year when he was basically just talking about being happy where he was, not wanting to win, essentially. So I think it's a strong point that there really aren't very many edgy personalities on this list. And the total 180 to that is a psychopath like John Morant, not understanding why a gun celebration might put him in poor light, or just having it on him. There's very little self-awareness up here either. But the reason I thought it was an interesting question is because I don't think the league knows how to market individual players anymore. AOH spoke to that. But there aren't very many marketable personalities up here, and I think that's the larger part of the of the issue.
I agree with that. I also think I think the face of the league happens naturally, and I think they've been trying to force it. So when Magic and Bird became the face of the league, it happened organically. It wasn't, hey, look, this is a black guy versus the white guy. We need to promote this. No,
well, there was a little of that. There was some of that.
Well, but okay, I'll even give you that, but I don't think it was the whole of it. if both of them were playing shit basketball and, you know, and they had an artificial rivalry, I mean, it's not going to sell. Like, you could try to market it as that, but I don't think that's going to be terribly successful. With Jordan, again, he became the face of the league organically through rising above obstacles and winning, playing fantastic basketball. I mean, you know, Kobe should have been the face of the league, but that's not the road that they took, and for, you know, for a myriad of reasons. But ever since Kobe, it just doesn't make any sense.
For decent reasons.
Well, I mean,
you know, you make a valid point, though, about, you know, things happening, you know, organically. And we talk a lot of times about a lot of these things, you know, not really being, you know, or LeBron James himself, his fans, they're not really authentic. They're not original, these people. They're not creative at all. So, again, this goes to part of, you know, the way the NBA's been going down the last 10 years or so, you know, and you see some of the players, and we think about some of the players, you know, like, are they original? Are they creative? Like I said, I mean, if you think about, you know, like I said, I hate to, you know, be, you know, the people and be the, you know, oh yeah, you guys are always giving credit to back in the day. But I mean, think about, I mean, the facts of the matter, though. You see someone like Charles Barkley now. Yo, Charles Barkley back in the 90s, man, he was marketable. Like, if you dropped his personality in the league right now, regardless of how great you thought he might be in comparison to other great players, he would easily be the best personality, the biggest personality. He would be the most marketable player in the league, bar none, just because of everything that he brings to the game, the charisma of him. But you didn't have just a Charles Barkley. You had a Michael Jordan. You had a Magic Johnson. You had a Shaquille O'Neal. I mean, you even had guys like Penny Hardaway, Grant Hill. All of those guys could have been the face of the league at any given moment. Think about the Penny Hardaway commercials. Those are hands down some of the greatest commercials ever. You remember those commercials. It may not just be because of his game, because you remember the commercials. Grant Hill, we talked about. Come on, these guys had that factor. If you put all those guys on the screen right now, we could go back and forth of who could have been the face of the league.
And not for nothing, Robin, another strong point that you assigned to what you're just saying. Not only did players have their own personalities, teams had their own personalities.
Word, right, exactly. Yep.
Each team had its own style, right? Now every team plays almost exactly the same.
That's a great point about the league.
Fuck.
So actually, I think this is a pretty good segue to the next thing on the list here, which is no additions for the Warriors. What do you guys think about that? Let's get to you, AOH, first, since you know you're from there.
I'm fixing my audio.
Okay.
So someone in the chat said Penny and Hill was never the face. Knock it off, bro. Listen, I didn't say they was the face of the league. I said those players could be the face of the league now. They could be considered the face of the league. Now listen to what I'm saying. Open your freaking ears, man. What's wrong with y'all people, man? God damn.
Is there a super chat you want to read before Robin punches the phone?
Yeah, I was gonna say we got a few of these. Right. Let's go ahead and get to them. Alex79, Alex from Italy. Victor can be the new NBA's face if he stays humble. That's almost out the window. Shout out to all of the guys, especially my man Robin. You are all greats. And by the way, LeBron is a clown, with all respect for clowns.
Well, so is there anything? Is Victor Wembanyama, is he humble? Because I feel like he is the exact mind state he should have in terms of wanting to chase greatness. Let me just reference that. I mean, what do you guys think? I feel like he's the closest thing we have to Mamba mentality right now.
I don't know about that. He does some weak shit. The whole not shaking hands thing personally disgusted me. And
okay, that's fair.
First impressions are a lasting one. He did that. He can't take it back. Now,
hey, Perkins thought it was awesome.
What's that?
Perkins thought it was awesome. That's got to mean
He
something.
did. Oh no, there were a lot of people. I think Jalen Williams also defended it, saying, shaking hands is for kids. I know, Robin, you talked about that in one of your videos about, we're holding 8-year-olds to a higher standard than we hold NBA professionals
we
to.
talked about that.
Right.
And that's pretty fucking ridiculous. Walking out of an interview, like, that's just things that Jordan wouldn't have done. That's things that Magic or Bird wouldn't have done. So I hold my standard too high. Maybe that's my problem. But I look at what past greats did, the level of integrity that they did it with, the level of composure that they did it with. And if you can't do it at that same standard, I'm sorry, I'm never going to include you at that same level.
I mean, listen, I like Victor Wembanyama, and I think he could be, like you said, the best player in the league, and the up and coming superstar in the NBA, no doubt about it. And when you talk about staying humble, shout out to Alex for coming through from Italy. Shout out to everybody in Italy out there. Like you said, the whole not shaking hands thing. Also, remember he didn't do the press conference after the game. He ducked out, in one of the playoff games and stuff like that. So. Even some of the ways, that you watched him go about his business during the NBA Finals, some of the interaction on the court, like you said, it came across to me a bit arrogant. And like I said, he's young, whatever. But, see, the thing, like, you just mentioned, Siberius, interesting, the standard, right? Maybe you said maybe my standards are too high. And I think that's probably what the problem is for a lot of the quote unquote old heads now. Because like I said, we've grown up now and we're looking at things through a lens of an adult. And when we look at some of these players, I mean, that's the problem with LeBron James. You look at some of these guys, they're supposed to be adults now. So they're supposed to have gone through that growth the way that we have. And we look at things differently now. You grow. You hope to grow. That's the whole point of freaking life is you hope to grow. You learn from the mistakes so that you can progress in life, right? Okay.
Well, with that in mind,
guys ain't doing that stuff.
Let me present a question to you guys with what Robin said in mind. Can you hear me okay? I switched my microphone.
Yeah,
you sound good.
Okay. Can we agree that we were a little bit surprised by Wemby not shaking hands? Like, didn't we expect better behavior from him? Like, we at least expected something better from him. Now, with other people, you wouldn't be surprised by that at all. So maybe it was a mistake. Maybe he's a mixture of passion and immaturity, and he's got some growing to do. But I wouldn't be shocked if Wemby actually said, you know what, that was a mistake. I should have. That's the thing. Like, maybe there's probably some, I would say that there's still some hope for him. He's made mistakes. He's made mistakes. And my God, I think Siberius has noted every single one of them because but that's because we have some hope and some expectations for him. And anything that comes up short of that is disappointing. But that doesn't mean that doesn't mean that they're no longer a possibility for the face. But yeah, listen, it's not like any of us would ever say we think it was a good move. It was a very disappointing thing for him to do.
It sounds like you're describing somebody taking accountability. And if
what are the odds? What are the odds right now with Wemby still being a child of him taking accountability? If you had to put your next month's rent on it, who would you bet on to take accountability next? Wemby or LeBron James?
Oh, well, it's going to be the other person, no matter who you say. I think they could be dead in the ground, and I'm going to think they're going to take accountability. Yeah, any being in existence, like it doesn't matter where it is on the food chain.
And yet, LeBron James enjoyed the luxury of being the face of the league all these years, while he still is who we would put our money on throwing someone under the rug, not taking accountability, talking shit about people, not showing up to the All-Star game. I mean, the list of being a disrespectful piece of crap goes down into the Marianas Trench, and yet he was the face of the league. Listen, this goes back to what I said before. The face of the league is manufactured. Human beings are sheep, and if they come up with a marketing package that tells you to like somebody, you're going to, because you're fucking dumb.
That's true.
Not you guys, but look, if the fact that we have LeBron James fans proves that the human race has a lot of fucking dumb people.
Now, I do want to clarify.
I'm glad Robin. I'm glad Robin's here. My one man support crew.
No, there's no argument to that. There's no comment.
No, I
like,
have no.
All I can do is agree.
The point that I'm going to make has nothing to do with you. It has to do with me. It's not to say he can't redeem himself. I've done stupid shit in my life that I have had to acknowledge and try to atone for. And if he does, then absolutely I can respect that behavior. But until he does, he can go fuck himself. And that's just the way that I look at it. I was going to say it's fine to make mistakes. That's part of life. That's part of growth. But without acknowledgement, without apology, without accountability, well, then you stand on what you said.
I got a question for you guys. Who was the face of the league in 93, 94?
I mean, it wasn't Jordan.
Well, he wasn't playing. Maybe it still was, despite him not playing.
Tell you.
I mean, listen, I would say it was probably like Shaquille O'Neal, somebody like that. Like I said, you could say maybe it was Charles Barkley, but like you said, now you're talking about the collective. So that's a great point.
Right. And
it's just like the person title thing. Nobody gave a shit about it before LeBron.
Yeah, you either enjoyed who was out there or you didn't. And Robin's point earlier was that there was a lot of charismatic people out there. And you people who create an argument by claiming someone said something that they didn't just prove that you didn't have an argument in the first place. He never even came close to saying that Penny Hardaway was the face of the fucking league. He gave a list of people who were charismatic and who were marketable. And I remember it being a big deal that Shaq was so marketable. And that was while Jordan was playing. There's no way that anyone was going to say that Shaq was the face of the league while Jordan was playing, but he sure was marketable.
Yep.
You guys remember Grant Hill got more All-Star votes than Michael Jordan during that second three-peat during one of those seasons. So when you talk about, how popular a lot of these guys were, this is part of the reason why people say, oh, if Grant Hill didn't have the injuries or if Penny Hardaway didn't have the injuries, all right? That's part of the reason why it wasn't just their games. These guys had legit charisma, legit personalities. Like I said, their commercials were legit, man. Like I said, when people talk about the LeBron James and the Kobe Bryant dolls, that originated with Penny Hardaway, guys. That was the doll, man. That was what we all remembered. That was some funny stuff right there. Grant Hill's commercials. You still remember those commercials. This is what we're talking about here.
Let's get to a few of these supers real quick. I don't want to get too far behind. Raider Nation coming through with the 10 jewels. Thumbs up. Hey.
What's good? Shout out to Raider Nation.
Top Dog 2916. What if the NBA made Curry the face in 2015?
Oh, that's a long answer.
You know what's interesting though with the Steph Curry comment? A shout out to Top Dog. It's like if you think about it, really, like you said, maybe not as far as people will tell you as far as the internet and social media. But if you really think about what Steph Curry did as far as influencing the game and a lot of the other players coming up behind him, you can still say he was the face of the league for all of those people.
Yeah.
Thank you, Top Dog. Good question, because how many what ifs could you come up with here? Like I would say LeBron James isn't allowed to have a rigged NBA Finals in 2016. LeBron James disappears way earlier on. They're not doing all of these things to keep LeBron James relevant. There isn't a phone call to the commissioner and a late assessed suspension. You actually call LeBron James for all the fouls that he committed on Curry. You give LeBron James a suspension for stepping over Draymond Green. I mean, you just remove all the favoritism that LeBron James received, and he stops existing. LeBron James can't exist without favoritism, whereas Curry has existed despite the league being against him.
For sure. Yeah. And his team being against him. I mean, the no additions for the Warriors proves that. Like, what are they doing to help him be as successful as possible?
Mm-hmm. Again, that's what makes it even more impressive. Undersized guard. With all of this stacked against him, still an undersized guard going in and out of the paint.
So you
all
asked
that
me
stacked against them.
earlier. You asked me earlier, so I'll just say what I was talking about. I was scrolling through all the offseason moves, and every single team, has some names in the additions category. I get to the Warriors, and there's a empty spot there. The only team, you guys. I mean, this is crazy. At this point, you really have to wonder how much of a concerted effort this is against Steph Curry. Like every fucking team in the NBA had a better offseason for the last several seasons than the Warriors.
Yeah.
Do you still think he finishes his career as a Warrior?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean,
I think he, as much as everybody talks about LeBron and his longevity and all that, I think Curry's got at least another 3 seasons in him playing at a decently high level. I think he has a legit shot.
This is a great question to pose everybody because it's hard to say what he should do. When everybody's against you and they won't allow you to succeed, do you move? Do you go somewhere else? But we also really like that he hasn't gone anywhere else. Like, how much differently would you guys look at Curry if he went somewhere else and won? Would it be better? Would it be better or worse? Would it be better or worse?
No, like you said, that enhances his career. I mean, listen, that's the whole point here. Him being on the Warriors, or the problem right now for Steph Curry is at the end of his career in the twilight years, in the last several seasons, the Warriors haven't done a damn thing for him. Yeah, it was all fun and cute, 7, 8 years ago, 10 years ago, 12 years ago. We didn't get Curry anything. Let's see what he can do. Yeah, it's all fun and games when he's doing his thing in his prime, but it's not cute anymore. It's not fun anymore when Steph Curry is damn near 40 years old, when he's the old guys now, and you're not doing anything for him now. This is when you need help for Steph Curry. This is when he needs some other guys. So I think this enhances Steph Curry's career, especially versus someone like LeBron James down the road. This is absolutely versus Kevin Durant. This is absolutely going to enhance him in his career.
I don't think it would hurt him.
Go ahead, Siberius. My bad.
No,
go ahead.
I don't think it would hurt him. I mean, the reality is, like, as Robin said, as you said, they haven't done anything for him. They've clearly proven that they're a team that's not behind his success. So why not go to a team that is behind his success? And I don't think he's going to do it in the LeBron fashion where he's going to go to another super stacked team to try to get an easy ring. Like there was all those rumors of him going to the Celtics. I don't have any issues with that move. I mean, they may shoot too many threes, but maybe he can help them with that.
So you don't not personally, I don't want to know whether or not it would be the right career move. I want to talk about you and your love of basketball. Would you still somewhere inside hold Curry in a higher regard if he went out as a Warrior and just kept taking the abuse from the organization? Or would you actually he wouldn't drop a notch at all in any of your minds by going somewhere else?
I don't think so.
I'm saying no, only because I feel he's shown his due diligence to that franchise. I think we don't give it enough credit that he's playing with an active spy on his team. In Draymond Green. I don't think that's talked about enough. And you combine that with the fact that Steve Kerr is still living off of a legacy from a decade ago and not coaching well. The team's not doing anything for him. He is visibly, by eye test, by metrics, by any analytic from somebody who watches basketball, he's visibly the face of the league and by far the most fun thing about it. I think he deserves a little bit of grace if he tries to do better for himself. That's my opinion.
Nah, I don't like it. I don't think he should leave, man.
I think that's fair.
Good breakdown. Thank you.
I think it's to me.
He already did it.
The bad.
He already did it.
I'm messing with him.
Speen was hitting the bong while Robin was talking earlier.
I don't know. I don't do that. ever.
Well, all right, let me get to a
Back,
few
back.
more of these supers. Caller Harvey 1985. Honest question. Can the face of the league be declared before a championship?
Of course. Of course.
I mean, I think it's happened, throughout the history of the game. So yeah, I think it can be.
Like a lot of unlikable people have won the championship. There's still somebody with more charisma. Like
Yeah.
there've been non-charismatic champions, I'm assuming. Who's the most
Who is even
uncharismatic champion?
charismatic in the league?
Who
That's funny. We
is
just asked complete 180 questions.
who is charismatic?
Yeah, in the league now. I mean, really, there's no personality in the league at all. Like that's one of the biggest problems.
I mean, they
Unless it's
got
a shitty one.
personalities, but they goofy as hell. Like I
Okay,
said,
yeah,
man,
okay,
come
likable.
on.
My bad. Yeah, I should say likable.
What do we say? You got guys that are going into their 7th, 8th season, but they're acting like they're going into their 2nd season or their 3rd season. This is what we talked about many times. So the lack of growth, like I said, like once again, like who wants to keep seeing these guys act goofy like this? At a certain point, you want to be like, all right, man, you know what? This guy was kind of goofy a couple of years ago. He was saying all kinds of crazy stuff, but you know what? Now I'm behind him. Like you're trying to get behind some of these guys, and then you see the outfit they come to the game in, and you're like, all right, listen, man, you a good basketball player. I'm not getting your jersey. I'm not going to get your jersey. It's not gonna happen.
Oh shit.
You know, I'm right.
Listen, man. Listen, man.
You can't do it. You ain't listen. If my favorite player comes to the arena with a purse hanging over him, I'm done after that. We done. I'm not rooting for you.
You know what,
no more.
Robin?
Listen, man.
Robin,
Much respect.
us as Jordan fans, bro. Us as Jordan fans,
Can't
we
do it.
gotta defend the mom jeans that he wore for like the first 30 years of his, first 30 years of his professional career, both on and off the court. The mom jeans. So we have to defend that a little bit.
Listen,
Who's this?
there's one thing I want to get straight, and
Jordan.
people need to understand. When people talk about, how people dress, sometimes you'll see people say, oh, they'll defend how these guys are dressing today by showing photos of guys from like the 70s or the 60s or, guys back in the 2000s or the 90s, and, they'll make fun of something that these guys were wearing. But what you're making fun of is a fashion trend or
Thank
a
you.
fashion style.
Thank you.
Don't get it confused. Man
Thank
purses and man bags, there ain't no fashion trend. There
Thank
ain't no
you.
style. Ain't no real men walking around with them bags. Ain't no men walking around with them tight-ass pants on, them skinny jeans and these high-water pants with their ankles hanging out all the damn time, wearing thong sandals. Those are not fashion trends.
This is
Those
great.
are not
This is
fashion
fantastic.
styles for men. Those are fashion styles for women, y'all. So when you try to laugh at some of the guys and what they were wearing back in the day, that was a style. I used to wear the MC Hammer pants. Anybody remember Hammer pants? I had like 3 or 4 pair of them joints, man. Once again, you're talking about a fashion trend, a fashion style. Ain't no trend when them dudes wear no damn man purses, man. Don't you ever think it's okay for you to be walking around with some bags hanging around your head, your hips, man?
Public
I'm going to be
public service
redundant.
announcement.
I'm getting sick of sports and fitness rants and I sharing the same brain. Like he's getting to it before I do, but I had the exact same quote. Like people were wearing Z Cavaricis and had the box suits, but people were doing it. Everybody was doing it. Nobody's going around wearing fucking bras as a fashion trend. Nobody's going around wearing dresses unless there's a really specific, weird reason that you're doing it. I mean, John Morant isn't showing up in a fucking dress and a bra because it's what everyone's doing. He did it. Just him. Just fucking him. I don't like seeing Jordan's interviews with all those goddamn box suits with the goddamn shoulders going all the way off the screen, but everybody was wearing that shit. It was just an unfortunate fashion trend. God, if we could all go back to how they were dressing in the 70s, would be great.
For sure. All right,
listen,
Top Dog,
when I was in school,
again.
everyone wore baggy clothes, man. All right, we talking about crisscross and all this stuff. Even the women, the girls wear everyone baggy pants and baggy this. Now you look at some of the way the kids are dressed. No one has any clothes on. The women got no clothes on now. When I was in school, the women were you couldn't see anything. Baggy shirts, baggy sweaters, baggy jeans. I mean, my goodness.
Apparently, that baggy thing's coming back.
Oh, it is.
Is it?
Yeah.
Jean code's back in full force. The pants that you could fit 3 people in.
Yeah. And you have to use your imagination to know what the woman's body looks like.
And
Instead of
sometimes
it-
you guess wrong.
Instead of their just
You had guys out here sagging skinny jeans. I'm like, what's the point? That's like an oxymoron. How you sagging skinny jeans and they can't even walk? They got to waddle side to side because them jeans are so skinny and they got them sag so low. I'm like, what y'all gonna do, man? How you gonna run from the cops with your jeans sagging like that? We had baggy pants that we sagged. The pants was already baggy and we sagged them even more. Y'all sagging skinny jeans?
See, Robin's still living in a fantasy world that anyone is old school and anyone has common sense. All the things that he made fun of with these players that make them unlikable, ESPN on NBA promotes those people for those things because we have an audience of absolute fucking brain dead people out there that can't wait to see the next post about the next dumb goddamn thing.
It's true. All right,
Robin, you should use your voice for GPS, bro. I'm gonna use your voice as my GPS. I'm
That's
so
great.
serious, bro. Yeah, just turn a left. Goof.
That's
Make
the
a goofy
best
right,
thing,
bro.
That's
like,
the best
I'm
thing
telling you.
Speams ever said.
Okay, see, there it
Turn
is.
left.
Thunder gone. Go ahead, let's go. Had to crush it.
All
right, top dog
Very good.
29-16.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Shit.
Robin, modern NBA players be doing their best. That's got to be John Cena impressions. You can't see them on the basketball court. I mean, it's true with the load management. They're just not there.
Yo, shout out to Top Dog. That's a great comment right there.
Wait, didn't we skip some people?
I was going to say I'm going to get to him right now. Vincent Garcia coming through. Steph
He
is
skipped
also
Carl
part of-
Harvey.
No, I didn't.
Oh, no, you didn't. Sorry. Fuck me. Jesus.
I know how to
We had
Come
a-
on there, wait.
We talked about it so long. I forgot the goddamn question. shout out to Top Dog. Shout out to Top Dog and Vincent.
All right, yeah, Vincent Garcia. Steph is also part of the problem. All offense, 0 defense.
It's an exaggeration. It's not great.
I don't think he
It's
plays
not zero.
defense.
Just, you know what, Vincent, don't do what LeBron fans do and go overboard. He's never going to go down as a great defender, but it's not 0 defense. It's just not true.
Okay. Phantom Black 94. Most impressive thing about Steph to me is how injury prone players don't usually recover. And we go, what if? Steph is like a what if that actually managed to show us.
Great
That's
comment.
a fantastic comment. A shout out to
Mhm.
Phantom Black. I actually wanted to mention that, and I did not. So shout out to you for bringing that up because that was part of Steph Curry's story, man. When he first came in the league, people were concerned about his ankles, all these issues that he may have to deal with. So that's a great point about he actually turned a what if scenario into what he actually did accomplish.
Absolutely.
Organically,
All right.
by the way, with no real quick, organically, by the way, no marketing machine behind him, just made all the right choices with his
Yeah.
health, with his skill, just everything about Steph Curry is like one of the coolest comeback stories in modern sports, and it'll never get talked about.
And it's a shame that it won't get talked about because
Yeah.
it deserves merit. Like, how many other guys can you name that did it?
None.
And this is coming from
None.
somebody that doesn't like him.
Right, the promotion. We talk about the promotion, the lack of promotion. If LeBron James would have had ankle issues or some kind of foot problems coming into the NBA, they would have been like, man, he had to overcome all these obstacles to come in the league and dominate the way he did. But for someone like Steph Curry, who had legit concerns, who had legit issues, and was able to, overcome these things, they said training, working on his game, the ball handling, all this stuff, the work that he puts in. It's funny when people tell me, and you'll see people, they'll post videos, and they'll be like, oh, man, look at LeBron James and Tyrese Maxey. They're already in the gym working on their games. I
my
laugh
God.
when I see a lot of these videos, man. It was similar to when I saw the Ben Simmons video from some years back, and they're like, oh, look at Ben Simmons, man. He's working on that three-point shot. And they show a video of Ben Simmons knocking down like 3 or 4 threes in a row in an empty gym with nobody on him, man. I'm like, come on, man. Listen, you guys are, at the end of the day, these guys are NBA freaking basketball players, man. That's part of the reason why we laugh when LeBron James goes to China in an open gym, and he's there with no one playing defense against him. He's out there supposed to be having a good time. He's one of the greatest basketball players of all time, and we watch that man not miss, not 1 or 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. This man proceeded to miss 11 straight shots. Guys, these are professional basketball players. Guys, I used to play in a rec league, man. I played in a rec league, man, for many
I
years.
can't miss 11 if I'm trying to.
I played in a rec league. There was a guy that was in the rec league that played professional basketball overseas, not in the NBA, overseas. And he played in the rec league. Guys, this man never missed an open shot. I don't think I ever saw him miss a shot. And he was nowhere supposed to be LeBron James. So when you see these guys and all this stuff that we see, you can't go to an empty gym and just knock down a couple of jumpers, man.
That is a great point. It's always astonishing to see how much better people are than we've ever even imagined. Like people who can't make the NBA and are doing other things. It's just like mind blowing. It's like, Jesus, you don't miss.
Yeah.
And
Jeremy Jones. Excuse me. Jeremy Jones coming through. Could a guy with a Jerry curl be the face of the league? Food for thought.
who are you referring
Who's that
to?
in reference to? Yeah.
I don't know.
Don't Jerry curl me. I got a legit fro.
Maybe
Rick,
oh.
was Rick Fox? Rick Fox, is that a Jerry curl?
Oh God!
I mean, he was shining like he
had one
was
of the
doing
best
Soul
curls in the
Glow.
business.
I mean, his hair was shining.
Kendall Gill had a really good curl. Michael Cage had a really good S curl, man. Michael Cage, man, had like that Keith Sweat curl going on. Shout out to Michael Cage in the S curl that he had rocking. Dominique Wilkins actually had a really good S curl. So shout out to Dominique Wilkins.
So at the 47-minute mark, we are going to go down this topic just so I can remember.
Hey, don't get mad because you're bald.
Well, because it
can't.
had nothing to do with me being bald. I just, are we going to sit here and talk about Soul Glow for how long are we doing that?
That's definitely a hair jealousy comment.
Walter Payne had a really good curl.
Bald and proud, so bald and proud.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, shout out to the girls, man. You know what I'm saying? We used to talk about that S curl kid. Back when I had hair, when I was in the military, especially, man, I came across a lot of different people from a lot of different parts of the country. And, everyone had their own, spin on how they would do their hair and the products they would use. And they put me on to a lot of these hair products, man. And I tell you, goddamn, man. I mean, they have a whole damn, you don't even, it's like going to the store and trying to get a ketchup, man. I mean, it's all kinds of stuff there.
Get a ketchup.
You can't just buy ketchup now. There's all kinds of ketchup.
You buy Heinz ketchup. If you're smart, you buy Heinz ketchup and you move on with your day.
Buy Aunt
And
Jemima
they got like
ketchup.
10 different Heinz.
Yeah, Siberius, save us, man. What are we doing?
All right. Al Sabat asks, Beam, how can I find your channel? What's the official name? I dropped it in the comments.
Yeah,
but
but you know what? Speam, you have to change the name.
Here,
It's impossible to find.
that's what everybody keeps saying. I'll fix it.
Yeah, it's the wrong combination of words. It always
Also
gives you. It'll always give you a documentary about a steam engine. It never shows you, dude. Even if I spell it correctly.
Okay.
I'm trying to give you advice. I'm not talking shit.
I appreciate it. I know you're not. I'm gonna fix it.
It's also.
Well, no, I got to be honest. So I mean,
it's also a terrible name.
Year and a half, 2 years ago, when I used to watch these lives, every time you said your name,
whatever nature trail you're on, AOH. I'm not saying
Beam all over my engine.
I'm not saying. I'm saying you hope you fall directly off the nature trail. But I don't know. Just maybe get lost. Don't make it home. Keep going, Siberius.
What was wrong with energy? Not Richard Jefferson.
I forgot it because I'm not incorporating that man's name into anything that has to do with me.
Yeah. Nevertheless, we need a constant reminder. I mean, you look and sound like that guy.
That's not true.
That's all I get is steam engine.
That's crazy.
What year did the steam engine reach the United States of America?
That's not what it says. There's no video that says that on YouTube. I promise you.
No, I think we actually invented that. And that's the only reason you're correct.
Keep going.
All right. Sarah's coming through.
Fuck you. That's the only reason I'm correct.
I'm surprised we can even understand a word Colin Cowherd says. His mouth is stuffed with LeBum's.
Shout out, great comment, shout out. In fact, I would like to use this opportunity to protest the next comment. We can't talk about every dumb fucking thing that comes out of that asshole's mouth. We just can't. We can't give credit to every stupid fucking thing that the marketing that I mentioned earlier insists that we continue to talk about LeBron James. I mean, the things that these guys come up with to talk about on their shows. LeBron James as a leader, the mentality, the strength of his mentality. There is no one in the fucking league with a weaker mentality. There might not be anyone in the history of the NBA with a weaker goddamn mentality than LeBron James. Forget comparing him to one of the greatest leaders ever. I mean, we just can't spend our time, people. I'm old and I can see the end. We can't spend minutes talking about the stupidity that comes out of Colin Cowherd's mouth because some asshole at the top told him to talk about it.
I'm not even sure somebody told him to talk about it. I think he comes up with this.
No, because this is what makes it even worse. As shitty as these people are, most of them know that what's coming out of their mouths is nonsense. Don't they? Come on, they watched it. Their jobs were to comment on basketball, and at one point in time, that actually included them watching the game. They know better. They have to. They have to.
I mean, sometimes I think that a lot of these guys are under the impression that promoting LeBron James in a positive way, or what's perceived as a positive way, is somehow in turn uplifting the NBA overall. And yet that might sound like, a good idea in theory. You're promoting the game's best player. You're promoting the face of the league, right? And, you're putting him in a good light. You're putting him up. So that would be propping up the league. The problem has always been, like we said, in order for them to do a lot of this stuff, they have to create narrative. So what you're talking about there, AOH, is narrative, because like I said, Colin Cowherd knows better, but he won't give you the full version of the truth. So a lot of the comments that Colin Cowherd makes, a lot of these guys make, they don't give you the full truth. They give you half truths. They give you what they perceive as the truth, what they want you to hear, what they want you to know. So we talk about a lot of this stuff with LeBron James, man. It's not just about him, but about how they promote him. How do they lift him up? They lift him up by tearing down the other guys. We laughed about something like JJ Redick. I mean, the man just blatantly came on ESPN as soon as he became, one of the new people on there, and was like, oh yeah, those guys, plumbers and taxi cab drivers. And he said it so, it's the way that he said it that was really, it resonated. That's why I told you when he said that, you had Bob Cousy felt compelled to come out and speak up. I mean, the man was just dismissing them like they were nothing. They were trash. All right, plumbers and taxi cab drivers, man. That's who they were. They were, like, he's talking about Bob Cousy. So it's like, when you think about how these guys come out and talk about a lot of the errors and how they continue to promote this era, you're not doing the NBA a service by promoting LeBron James' way or not giving the full version of the full truth. You're actually taking away from the NBA.
Shout out to Sarah. Sarah has a lot of great comments. Sarah, where do you live?
Shout out to Sarah. You're right.
Are you a Bay Area person, or where does Sarah live?
We trying to stalk her, man. We trying to stalk Sarah. Sarah, don't tell her nothing. Come back, Sarah.
Yeah, I'm saying that's why I'm keeping just in case this ends up on some kind of documentary or something. I'm not saying a word.
Yep.
Hey, Sarah, just know that whatever plans AOH has, I have nothing to do with it. For the sake of the internet and any department of corrections, I am innocent. I know where most of the good commenters live. She's fairly recent, and yes, there is a special shout out to the female supporters who speak with common sense. Which also is going to get me in trouble because that makes it sound like females don't speak with common sense. But we do have the majority of males on here. So shout out to Meg also.
Absolutely. I can't remember her full name, but Pink Lady. I was going to say she has some good comments also. Pink Lady Scorpio.
Okay. All honesty, I was planning on stalking her, but she's in Minnesota, so we can move on.
That's too far.
This is
It's too far.
this is bad news. This is
Okay,
not
let's
good.
move on. Shut
Let
the
me
fuck
just.
up.
We should. Yes, thank you. This is
Woofio, where do
Out to
you,
Minnesota.
Woofio, where do you live?
Don't be asking about any. Don't ask any more safe questions now. It's too late.
Shout out to New Mexico. I see New Mexico out there. Shout out to you
That
guys.
breed of dog looks right up my alley.
All right,
Jesus
Woofio, they have to make up narratives because it makes up for the lack of skill and mental fortitude these players have. For sure.
Amen.
Absolutely.
Amen.
And the only reason why I added this Colin Cowherd shit is not because I even give a fuck about it. I don't want to give any weight to it. But I view it as there are absolutely people that watch this garbage and take it as gospel.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
And
Right.
I simply refuse to not at least counter it and say, that's not the story. This is the story. People can make of that what the fuck they will, but there are people that will believe it. And I at least have to put on my side. We don't have to talk about it today. I don't care, but
No, you absolutely have a reason to put it on your list. I just had to go off on how it's impossible for us to keep up with the ridiculous shit that they say.
oh, for sure.
No, but you're right, Siberius. It's very, very important. You know, sometimes people ask me the same thing, or people will, leave comments on some of my videos, and, they'll say things like, oh, these people be out here trolling, man, and, they're just doing this, for this, that, or whatever. And it, as if maybe it's a waste of time for maybe me to have done a video or I've talked about a certain topic or a certain, situation that maybe someone, sent me. So I've often told people, sometimes people are requesting these kinds of videos for me to talk about this stuff, but it's never a waste of time when you're setting the record straight, when you're stopping the lies and the narrative. That's never a waste of time. Like I said, a lot of these things that people put out, some of these platforms are huge and they put this nonsense out. So a lot of people are getting, subjected to, whatever they're putting out, their point of view. We talked about some of these guys like Nick Wright and someone like a Colin Cowherd. These guys have hundreds of thousands of fans and people that listen to them, and whatever they say, they take as fact. And oftentimes, if you listen to Nick Wright, he lies a lot. He's incorrect about a lot of things. Even Colin Cowherd, you can tell that Colin Cowherd doesn't know what he's talking about with a lot of this stuff. So even though they might bring up a certain topic, he might try to crap on Michael Jordan and talk about the mentally strong or the strength of LeBron James. In the entire time that he spoke, he never brought up any examples. All he could continue to say, or all he could say, was that LeBron James is going into year 24, bring it on. Michael Jordan, after 9 years, needed to retire. That's the only thing that you can say. You can't give us an example of LeBron James actually saying bring it on when he's got 182 game season all these damn years. How is he saying bring it on? I don't understand. So again, these guys have these opinions, but they can never explain and back their opinions up.
For sure. Oh, Sarah coming through again.
Hello.
LeBron said super teams are a winning formula. I asked him, why is LeBron still a loser then? He never responded. Of course, because they never do.
Amazing comment, Sarah. And, because we were talking about fashion earlier, I was curious, what you're wearing.
Oh, my gosh.
Like, is the baggy trend back, or is it like Robin said? Purely.
For a second, I thought you were asking Sarah what she's wearing, and I was about to.
Is that not what just took place?
Who do you think I was asking?
Is that not what just happened? What's going on here?
I'm just.
This is not like an AOL chat.
I'm jumping on you. It's a joke earlier, but thank you for.
I'm going to remove myself from this stream because I don't want to be.
It's going to end up on.
So listen, they've redefined what winning means. So I'm sure Brontards can explain after 19 paragraphs what a winning formula is, while it doesn't include the actual act of winning. And I'm sure in their minds, LeBron James is not a loser because he's a billionaire and all these other things. But yes, I agree. He's just terrible. It's winning.
Like when you think about what Colin Cowherd says, if he's bringing up, and he's talking about LeBron James' longevity, this is what's often brought up in a lot of these things. I did a video this morning about hoops hype, and they had LeBron James ranked #1 all time. And in their breakdown, they once again brought up how LeBron James has been dominating for so long. And yet, when you think about LeBron James and what Colin Cowherd's saying, and you talk about, yo, LeBron James has been doing X, Y, Z for all these years. But really, how has LeBron James been able to extend his career? Because LeBron James, once again, took a back seat in other areas. He continued to lollygag on the basketball court, load manage, right? Pick and choose what games he's going to play, when he's going to give effort. So that helped extend his career. But they won't tell you that. Colin Cowherd sit there and tell you, man, LeBron James never gave up. He kept pushing. He kept playing. Michael Jordan stopped. All this stuff. When we saw LeBron James miss all of these games, year after year after year, not play defense year after year after year. Did Michael Jordan lollygag on defense for all these years so he could play 13, 14, maybe 15 years? Did a lot of these guys do? They didn't play that way. They didn't half-ass it. They didn't say, you know what, let me give up now and only play half the game. Let me lollygag out here so I can extend my career. This is what LeBron James did.
Dude, you mentioned the word dominate in there, and that's another one that's been redefined. Like
Yep.
they just throw fucking dominate out there. When the fuck and what the fuck is LeBron James dominated? Fast transition points? Transition points? Is that what
Being a good father, being a great father, being a great husband. What do you mean? What are you asking these crazy questions for?
And
Right.
also not giving up, pushing, keeping up the fight. LeBron
Waking up at 4:30 in the morning to go to the gym.
reason LeBron James has been on as many teams as he has is because of how quickly he gives up. He never leaves those teams at the top. Michael Jordan had the decency to retire when he was at the top both times. LeBron James runs when things are going badly, and he runs not to another challenge, but to a goddamn near guaranteed path to success. That's not a challenge, Colin Cowherd or Max Kellerman. I mean, they're all the same. These fucking
They're all the
people are
same.
all the goddamn same now.
Well,
That's like,
Robin, one thing that you mentioned, is they've rebranded not getting back on defense. They've rebranded cherry picking.
Yeah.
He's not cherry picking. He's just saving himself for the next possession.
Look,
So,
Colin Cowherd said like 3
that's
years ago that was smart. He's playing
Yep.
smart. He's playing
Yep.
smarter basketball because of his wisdom. Like not helping your goddamn team because you're old is intelligence. Jesus,
Leaving
I am
your
the
team on
smartest. I'm the smartest motherfucker on every court I walk on.
Right. I mean, remember he said that the reason why he leaves the games early, remember he addressed, hey, man, people be saying that I've been leaving the games early because, I'm a sore loser and I'm this and that. And he addressed it on his podcast. And remember what he said? He said, yeah, I leave the games early because I'm going to get treatment started. I'm doing things that people aren't thinking about. I'm taking myself, I'm thinking a step ahead of everybody else. And the funny thing is, he'll say that he's getting all this treatment. He's staying a step ahead of everything. And then he'll miss all of these games. Right? Then he'll miss the next game, right? You'll never play 82 games, but you're doing all this work and all this treatment. That's why I say it doesn't add up. They'll laugh at guys missing games. They always clowned Anthony Davis for missing all these games. Anthony Davis was never celebrated as a workout guy, as a guy that was doing all these things. He wasn't getting all this treatment done. But I've heard many, many players, Austin Reeves, all these guys are in awe of the treatment that LeBron James gets before and after games. They can't believe it. They're like, man, I don't know how he does all this stuff, how he stays in that regimen, and then he'll be out that game. He'll be out for no reason. He'll still be dealing with something that he should have been done with a long time ago. On top of not only having the Wolverine healing factors and seeing the LeBron James feet, having all these doctors, still missing all these games.
Red Factor 216. Max Kellerman said that LeBron this year was better than prime Karl Malone. Malone and the Jazz swept 4 All-Stars in 1998 and won MVPs in his 30s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
2
Shout out to
MVPs
Red
in
Factor.
30, wasn't it?
Yeah, Karl Malone's the oldest MVP winner in NBA's history,
Yeah.
man. 35 years old, Karl Malone. So once again, you got to put some respect on Karl Malone's longevity. I saw a lot of people talking about this. I did a video on this. Yeah, it's crazy. It's criminal what Max Kellerman said. I mean, the disrespect to Karl Malone, it can't be denied, man. I mean, for you to say that now LeBron James at his best was better than Karl Malone at his best, you said that LeBron James last year, which is at one of his worst, at his lows, is better than Karl Malone ever was. That's crazy.
Are you guys most disappointed by Max Kellerman in terms of sports analysts that you think would be better than how they're operating. Because when he sat across from Stephen A. Smith, I enjoyed what dude was saying, because he at least provided some arguments to Stephen A. And I felt like he was a fairly reasonable kind of 180. But hearing him now, it's like listening to a clone, and it's disappointing, because of all of these, we talked about Charles Barkley and how disappointed we are in him. Of all these analysts, I expected better from him. Like he came from a time where people don't, sell out like he has appeared to. So I think I might be most disappointed in him in terms of analysts, just kind of based on this conversation.
Well, no, I would agree with that, because he's completely flipped. I mean, he at least offers a modicum of pushback. He used to have relatively intelligent things to say. Now he's gone completely off the rails and just says whatever they want him to say.
Right.
Because I don't think that's what he thinks, because occasionally the things that he genuinely thinks slip through. Like I did a video recently where him and Rich Paul were talking about, LeBron having 4 MVP careers, and I don't even want to get into that shit. But
gross.
He said on the, they were talking about, one of his MVP careers was on the Heat. Well, but he didn't play long enough. He only played there for 4 years. And Max Kellerman was the one that pointed it out. I was going to say, so it's just his real thoughts that slip through occasionally that you'll let he doesn't agree with any of the shit that he's saying. He says it because they either literally handed him a script with, key words and key phrases that he needs to shoehorn into the conversation, or, it's literally what he's paid to do now. And and it's hard to counteract that argument, because he went from at least reasonable to completely irrational. How else do you explain that? People don't change that much.
Mm-hmm.
Right. No, you're right. Max Kellerman, I remember one of the things that started to get me back in the day when he first started with the Stephen A. Smith on the First Take, and they had that, dynamic going on, is he became one of the guys that kind of conceded, oh, LeBron James been past Kobe Bryant. Like, he's not even in the conversation anymore. And they used to talk about a lot of the LeBron James, Michael Jordan stuff. And somebody would say, oh, what about Kobe Bryant? Is he in this conversation? And Max Kellerman would be like, oh, no, he been past Kobe. He was one of the first people on board with this stuff. Yeah. Or, when he started to say that, that's when he started to lose me. Because the way, once again, it's the way that they say it. Like, it's not like you said, well, I think that LeBron James passed Kobe Bryant. I think, he passed him. You say, oh, he been past Kobe Bryant. Like, you make it seem as if he blew past Kobe Bryant. And that's the problem here. How these guys come out here and say a lot of this stuff. For Max Kellerman to say that LeBron James last year was better than Karl Malone ever was, that's not even your opinion. That's not something that you can be like, yeah, I could kind of see that. Anyone that knows the game, whether you like Karl Malone or not, whether you saw Karl Malone or not, there's no one that's ever going to agree that LeBron James last year was better than Karl Malone ever was. Ever was. It's insane stuff. So when you make statements like that, there's no one that's going to be like, yeah, you know what, I can kind of see that there, unless you're, once again, a hardcore LeBron James fan because you're not a fan of basketball.
Yeah. All right. Well, our next super is actually a great segue. Vince Garcia coming through. Richard Dumas. Can't wait for that topic. So, yeah, what happened to Richard Dumas?
This is actually going to be brief because I know what the answer is. But I was watching. I've been watching the 93 finals because I'm trying to upscale them and then release them to YouTube for people to watch them in a higher quality. And Richard Dumas was kicking ass. And so I was like, what the fuck happened to this dude? And it was substance abuse problems. So there's the answer. But Pippen. Yeah. Huh?
He was whipping Pippen's ass.
He was whipping everybody. He was, maybe I just happened to watch the games that he was at his best, but like this dude was like in his first or second year. And so was Oliver, one of their big men who couldn't keep his weight under control. Like Oliver fluctuated from 270 to 380. But both of these
Wow.
guys in the game I was watching was like, Jesus, why don't I know more about these guys? They were killing it. And well, the answers are not complicated.
Yeah.
No, they're not. He got suspended a lot too, didn't he? For substance abuse and for.
Yeah. And as Pink Lady Scorpio says, Richard Dumas is better than Labalco. What do you think, Pink Lady, about the baggy clothing fashion trend versus the painting on your clothing fashion trend? Since we were on that topic.
You know, the Richard Dumas thing is interesting that you guys brought him up. That's a name that you don't really, hear much. And
No.
you guys, you talked about him in the 93 finals. That's pretty much like the high of his career
pretty much.
when he was putting on, and doing some of these things in that series. Like you said, going against Scottie Pippen in the Chicago Bulls. He showed a lot of flashes, and he was very young during that series. But during that series, he also showed that, there's something wrong with this dude. And like some of the ways the erratic.
Like, you remember this?
Someone like Richard Dumas. Like I said, it's crazy when you think, and like I said, it's sad when you think about some of these guys. I mean, you might even know a guy from your school, that maybe could have made the NBA or the NFL or Major League Baseball, whatever it is. Maybe you knew a kid. Maybe you were that kid. Maybe you were that person that, you had this talent, you had, this opportunity, and something like this happened. We talk about, or people mention Len Bias a lot of times in a lot of these conversations of the what if scenarios. And if you really look into his story, which I have, it's actually more sad than you might even think. It's actually more tragic than you might even remember. And, like I said, man, there's a lot of people that got stories like this. Or you can say maybe someone in your family that's jacked up on drugs or, has alcohol problems or whatever it is, man. So it's like I said, it's sad when you think about someone like.
I was gonna say, why are you laughing at that?
I mean,
laughing at this.
Well, AOH, he it's what happens when when you talk about serious things, people laugh because they can't see you get man. But man, like I said, it's crazy, what Richard Dumas could have done.
It is sad. It's sad. It's sad.
Absolutely sad. Shout out to Basketball Show in the chat.
Hello, Basketball Show.
Yo, shout out to the Basketball Show, man. Thank you for coming through. My man, you guys know the Basketball Show. He be putting out that good content, man, for real.
Well, actually, so I made a video about this yesterday, but I'm really curious what you guys think. Do you guys respect the modern NBA winners? In my video, I was highlighting from 2010 to 2026.
Well, Joel Embiid performed terribly right after he received the Pity Award. And I've barely given any thought to the MVP since then.
I mean, you really can't. I mean, he played 66 games and won an MVP.
The fact that ESPN can go out there on a campaign against a player while promoting a player, and it actually ends in the result that they set out to get. Jesus.
That's you're referring to Kendrick Perkins' little diatribe, right? When he
and you can leave. Listen, let's not make this about Kendrick Perkins's race part. It also created the MVP fatigue for Jokic, and it also led to multiple conversations about everything that Embiid has done in the past, and not currently, and not what he did in those playoffs. He got it anyway because people had been convinced that somehow he'd accumulated enough to deserve something that you couldn't see in front of your fucking eyes right when he was given it.
There's an interesting question about respecting the MVPs. You said what, since about 2010, you said, Siberius?
That's what I said, yeah.
Yeah, that's really interesting because, I've talked about some of the standards, and I think we could go back to that word standard and how the MVP standard has been changed and lowered. Let's not forget that back in the day, up until 1980, the players voted on the MVP trophy. So, the MVP winners back in the 60s or the 70s, they were voted on by their contemporaries. So I respect the players voting on the MVP trophy, whoever they feel is the MVP of the league. when it went over to the media, the coaches, doing the voting for the MVPs, that's when you start to talk about standards. What was the standard usually for the MVP winner? Most of the time, the MVP winner had to either be the best player on one of the best teams record-wise. That's usually what the MVP came down to. Now, there might have been a season here or there where the MVP winner came from a team that wasn't necessarily one of the quote-unquote best teams because that player's season was so dominant, i.e. Michael Jordan, 1988. The Bulls weren't necessarily one of the best teams in the league, but Michael Jordan was having such a sensational season, and once again was one of the biggest stars in the game, was able to win an MVP trophy. But more often than not, the trophy went to the best player on one of the best teams record-wise. And we've lowered the standard. When you talk about some of the guys that have won MVPs over the last 10 seasons or so, some of these guys have won MVPs on teams that were mediocre record-wise. They weren't necessarily one of the best teams in the league, but maybe the player had some stats. And that's the problem also. We talked about how stats are inflated now. So guys are getting MVP trophies off of stats that are inflated. When you talk about Joel Embiid playing 66 games, what does that do for your stats? That inflates your per game numbers. If you're playing less games, then your per game numbers are going to be made to look a certain way. It's harder to average 30 points playing 82 games than it is to average 30 points playing 66 games. All right? You have to do it for much longer, much more consistently. If you have a couple of bad games here and there, it's going to hurt you more when you keep playing all these games. But that's how a lot of these guys inflate their numbers and make their numbers look a certain way because they're playing less games because they don't have to play these games. So the MVP trophy, some of these guys, who are they going against? Nikola Jokic wins these MVPs and, people will say, oh, he should have won 5 in a row or whatever the case may be. That's actually making his competition look bad. That's actually making his MVPs look fraudulent because what you're saying is his MVP competition is so weak that he should have won 5 in a row. I mean, it's insane stuff when you talk about, his team record-wise and what, people are saying he should have won. Who are the great MVP winners now? Russell Westbrook won an MVP. His team wasn't that great overall, but he averaged a triple-double. James Harden won an MVP off the strength of foul baiting. So some of the MVPs have been laughable.
Well, and those were a few of the different things that I pointed out. But going back all the way to 2010, one player played over 80 games, and it was Russell Westbrook who played 81. None of the other players played even 80 games. Most didn't even play 75. And the contrast to that is Jordan won 5 MVPs, played 82 games for 4 of them, played 80 games for 1.
Right. And that's another great
What year
point.
did they institute the 65-game rule to win an award? What year was that?
2023, I think.
Yeah, I think it was something around there.
I'm trying to remember the year, Robin, to piggyback off something you said, when they started to have the conversation about MVP meaning most valuable for that team or best. Like they started to get caught in the weeds, right, in that conversation. And that's when it really started to clutter. And I'm thinking that's right around when the media started to get involved, because now it used to be just like, yo, straight, it's Jordan, right? Like despite the fatigue, like you knew who it was. But as
he didn't get it
to come up in prominent, well, because of genuine fatigue, sure. But you knew it was him. Right?
Like let's
get caught in the weeds. Go ahead.
Let's ask the panel and everyone in the comments whether or not Karl Malone should have actually gotten MVP over Jordan in that season, and whether Barkley should have gotten an MVP over Jordan in those seasons. And there's legitimate arguments. I mean, they had great seasons, but were they more important than what Jordan was doing for the Bulls?
Like I feel like we just know that. It's like one of those things. It's
hard
to back it up with fact. But are you saying
I haven't heard the answers. I haven't heard answers. What do people think?
I'm saying it was Jordan both of those years. I think it was just pure fatigue that he.
Well, let's hear the whole panel. Do you guys think it was? Do you guys think it was Jordan?
I think Jordan should have won both of those.
Robin, you disagree?
I've always said this, and I continue to say the same thing. I'm not of the mind of Michael Jordan being robbed, or quote unquote being robbed for MVPs, or that Michael Jordan should have won, those seasons. Could he have won? Yeah, we go to the woulda, coulda, shoulda. Yeah, he could have won those. No one would have been up in arms if Michael Jordan won those MVPs. Let's say he would have won those 3 in a row, 91, 92, and 93. No one would have been like, oh my God, I can't believe they didn't give it to Barkley. No one would have said that. When Barkley won it, nobody was up in arms and Charles Barkley won the MVP. Did Michael Jordan, quote unquote, take it personal with Karl Malone and Charles Barkley? Yeah, he probably did take it personal. He said he took it personal. And that's great for Michael Jordan. But to me, Barkley deserved the MVP. He was sensational that season. And again, he led the Phoenix Suns to the finals in his first season playing with them. It wasn't like his third year. It was in his first season, man. Karl Malone, once again, the things that he did, you know, we can argue if Michael Jordan and the Bulls, you know, they didn't force these guys to retire, if he would have won the MVP in 99, because Malone actually won the MVP the following season in 99 again. So I don't think it's a fluke that Karl Malone won in 97, because then he won again in 1999. So obviously Karl Malone was playing some fantastic basketball. So I never want to take away, because I think to me, really what that speaks to is the competitiveness of MVPs in the 90s. For you to get an MVP in the 90s, for you to say, Charles Barkley got an MVP, yo, that MVP means a lot, because Charles Barkley and a lot of the guys that were going against each other, yo, that's stiff competition, man. David Robinson got one MVP, man. Hakeem Olajuwon got one MVP. Hakeem Olajuwon's argued as the greatest defender in NBA's history, one of the greatest centers, a top 10 player, and yet the man has one MVP on his resume. Why? Not because he's not great, but because you're going against freaking Jordan. You're going against Bird, Magic, Isaiah Thomas, Dominique Wilkins, Shaquille O'Neal, David Robinson, Charles Barkley, Karl freaking Malone. That's why.
And look, what Robin just did was present acceptable arguments for all of the players. And it's not really that upsetting that Barkley or Malone got it. But you could still present an argument for Jordan. But the deal is that, like, it was all legitimate. You can actually back up your arguments with evidence, versus today it's backed up by propaganda.
Yeah,
for sure.
Right.
Let me get to some of these supers before we get a little bit too far behind. Robin, would you mind reading Wufio's?
Oh, yeah, for real. Shout out to Wufio for coming through. Thank you very much again. The clutch is getting scared of their own fans. The narratives is getting Diddy by father time. There's a whole lot of 8-year-old Laker fans watch him quit on their team game by game. They cook themselves. No, you're right. Shout out to Wufio. Yep. You're right on the money with that. They're getting Diddy by father time.
That's what happens when you lie about something. You have to maintain that lie.
Yeah,
like you're starting to see some slips in the seams here. You know what I mean?
Shout out to Wufio for the super.
For real.
All right. Vincent Garcia bought all his rookie cards up in smoke. Was he talking about Richard Dumas?
He's talking about Dumas.
I think he was talking about Dumas. I was going to say, sorry for getting to these late where they're kind of out of context. Wufio coming through again. MVPs don't matter without chips.
Like I said, man, when you think about some of these MVP winners, like I said, you have to, that's what we're talking about. You have to call and check on the resume. You got to call and check on the facts, man. You got to find out the facts of the MVPs. So again, we've talked about some of these guys that have MVPs and some guys that don't. So if you turn around and just say, yeah, well, Russell Westbrook won an MVP and Jason Kidd never did, he's got to be greater than Jason Kidd. I'm never putting Russell Westbrook above Jason Kidd, man. Are you freaking kidding me right now? But Jason Kidd never won MVP. And we can literally look at that one season. I think it was like 2002 or 2003 when Tim Duncan won the MVP, that you could argue Jason Kidd could have won the MVP. And if you look at the voting, it was a very close vote for MVP. Jason Kidd was right there, man. But he never won MVP. Why? Not because Jason Kidd wasn't great, but because you're going against Tim freaking Duncan, man. You're going against Shaquille O'Neal for MVP and the Allen Iversons and the Dirk Nowitzkis and the Kevin Garnetts, the Kobe Bryants. You know, all these guys are in the voting for MVP, man. You're not going against James freaking Harden, man. Like, if Jason Kidd played and that was his competition for MVP, he would absolutely win MVP, man.
Agreed. All right, so I am finally going to acknowledge this. Carl Harvey, 1985, Siberia's doing red face today. I'm not trying to make a statement. I was going to say there's no deep meaning to this. I was called out, and I do what I say. So that's where it is.
Wait,
All right,
what was the call out? Who called you out?
our co-hosts?
Wait, which one of y'all told him to do this?
I don't call out is a strong word. I just said you should do it. What face am I going to put on? That's all. You know what I mean? You can do that shit.
He's making excuses to do ESPN level content.
All right, Vincent Garcia. If half of what PMR said is true, how can we take anything in the modern NBA seriously? Can't do anything that might hurt your social credit score.
Well, way to cut right to the bone. I mean, we shouldn't, and we're just trying to enjoy something that we used to. And look, we're attached to it. You don't just separate yourself over fucking night to something that was this important. We can't. No. We can't take it seriously. We just want to still enjoy the game we used to love.
And I think that's that's an excellent point, AOH, because that's something that fanboys just don't understand. We loved and still love this game. Maybe not in its modern iteration, but I still love basketball at its core. Like, just whatever's happening on the court now isn't real basketball. But this is a part of my entire life. I started watching this game when I was 8 years old, and I watched religiously. And now it's being systematically destroyed before my eyes. I can't just let that happen. I can't sit idly by and be complacent with it. So I may have done it later than all of you guys, but I had to start a channel to speak against it. And no, I can't let it go.
Right. I mean, that's a great point, Cyberius. We're fans of the game at the end of the day. As we talked about before, I always say the true basketball fans are the ones out here, like I said, holding the standard, because that's what it goes back to. I mean, when we mention the NBA All-Star Game, think about the people that get upset when you mention the NBA All-Star Game. Those are true basketball fans. They're the ones that are genuinely upset about how the NBA All-Star Game has turned, right? How it's, become what it's become, an absolute joke. So again, when we talk about, having respect for the sport and rooting for the sport, you want to see the sport do good. These guys, I mean, they said something as simple as the All-Star Game. They don't take it serious. No one thinks it's a big deal anymore, that the All-Star Game's a joke. And something like the All-Star Game used to matter a lot to the actual fans of that sport. So that's what it's always been about, man. When people talk about, LeBron James not doing the slam dunk contest, and these fans will say, who cares? Like, yeah, you guys don't care because you're not really fans of the sport. You only care what LeBron James does or doesn't do, man. You'll defend it to the end of time. But we talk about the obligation that someone like LeBron James had to the fans, to his own people. You don't care about you guys, but you're out here crying and moaning about us and what we're doing. We're holding the standard here. If the NBA would just do something as simple as turn up the officiating standard to what it was, you don't have to do it to the 60s officiating standard. But if you guys would just hold the damn officiating standard, something so simple, you would think, that's all they got to do. That would make the product a lot better.
And not for nothing, this series of complaints, guys like myself, Robin, AOH, Siberius, we've been saying this for the last 10 to 12 years. The consistent complaint about the All-Star Game and the lack of defense. We've been talking about this for a very long time, and you can clearly go through the internet and point out exactly where these things started to fall apart, and you see what the product looks like now. So, the burden of evidence really isn't on us because it's actually happening in real time, but for whatever reason, people are ignoring it.
What's been happening simultaneously? Player empowerment. So for everyone who wants to do the sob story that these guys deserved more money and they were being abused, nothing's improved except for a few individuals who probably are the last people that you want to have that much money at their fingertips, have even more money at their fingertips while the game itself continues to suffer and most of the other players in the league suffer. So don't talk about player empowerment. You're talking about individual empowerment at the expense of everyone and everything else.
For sure.
Like, I'll give you a perfect example in the chat here. I saw a comment from Basketball Sports Energy. This person says, the All-Star Game was fine last year. And what's funny about that comment is when they use a word like fine. And when they say it was fine last year, yeah, you're talking about, yeah, it's fine. When we talked about the All-Star game back in the day, we were like, yo, man, the All-Star game was crazy. Yo, the All-Star game was way more than fine, but what are you comparing it to? You're comparing it to the All-Star games over the last, 5-6 years? Yeah, anything is fine compared to what we've been seeing over the last 5 or 6 seasons, and that's what we're talking about. So you guys really don't understand what we mean when we're talking about a lot of this
What
stuff.
does fine even mean? What a fucking non-committal, worthless, soft statement. Fine.
Fine is going to 8 straight conference finals AOH. That's what fine is. Fine is almost winning.
Fine.
It's fine.
It was fine.
Stop shouting out these
It was fine. They had to come with all these gimmicks, but it was fine. Right? Doesn't make any sense. This is what I'm talking about. No one's trashing the league. What we're talking about is, again, how you guys and a lot of the people in the media are trying to portray and promote the league right now versus the past eras. When you say these guys are bigger, stronger, faster, we see that they're clearly not. When you say these guys and you promote them as being more skilled, and you say the guys back in the day couldn't dribble, they couldn't shoot, and we know that they could, we also talk about the standard of officiating is much different. Now, you can't deny that. So we've often said, what would those players look like if they were allowed the freedom of a lot of the players today? You think, I've always talked about, you tell me Dominique Wilkins is not going to be even that much more dynamic when he can take a gather step when he's flying down the freaking break? I mean, he'd be thrown all over the goddamn place way more than he already was.
Right. Or the freedom of movement, how much space he would have. Right.
Exactly. I mean, think about Reggie Miller. Like, if Reggie Miller didn't have to worry about someone landing underneath his space, hey, you got to give Reggie Miller landing space out here when he's coming off a billion screens, a million miles an hour. Imagine if Reggie Miller had that kind of freedom. Hey, man, you got to back up. You got to give him space to land his feet. Reggie Miller would be, even more lethal if all these guys had those kinds of advantages.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're talking about, you hinted at a mental fortitude that isn't even considered today. These guys had to perform while actually having somewhere in the back of their mind that they were about to get hurt. And the word fine, even the word fine at its best means hardly anything. That's your best fucking compliment. Mary Lewis.
Wait, Anthony Edwards is worried about hurting his hand on the rim. He's not worried about getting clotheslined or being hurt out there from trying to dunk on somebody who's going to challenge you. He's worried about getting his hand hurt on the rim.
You reminded me to call out Spain for always bringing up Anthony Edwards. What the fuck do you think is so charismatic about Anthony Edwards?
I need to bring him up as a charismatic person.
You keep saying that he should be pushed as the face of the league.
I do. At least it looks like he's having fun. Like, at least it looks like he enjoys playing basketball and wants to kind of win.
Did you hear what Robin just said? He's complaining about what it feels like to dunk.
But it's slim pickings.
I'm enjoying the game while I complain about the game.
It's slim pickings. It's slim. I mean, it's either him or SGA, and I can't deal with him getting pushed over.
Oh, I got him into the conversation.
By a chalk outline.
Shout out to Mary Lewis. Mary Lewis, what do you think about the baggy clothes versus the painted on clothes?
All right, I'm gonna get onto these supers because I'm gonna slap someone. Medved Ted says, ring chasing, super team assembling journeyman, LeBron will never reach MJ or Kobe level. I mean, ever. And the fact that they keep trying to push that narrative is just fucking crazy. Basketball show coming through. I lived in Poland in the 90s. What was getting up at 4 a.m. to watch games, to watch live games. Crazy. Friends were staying over. Not everyone had live games then. Thank you, basketball show.
I almost wish that technology hadn't changed and you were still in Poland to see how much effort people would put in to watch today's game compared to back then. I mean, only for that reason. I don't wish you to be, anywhere that you don't want to be for any other reason. But what an interesting comment. Thank you, B-Baller Show.
Yeah, that's a great comment for real. Thank you for adding to the live with that comment. And I've heard similar stories from people who have been subscribed to my channel, and I know a lot of you guys have probably heard similar stories also from people from other countries that had to do all these kinds of things just to see a Michael Jordan game or just to see a game back then. I mean, like I said, and I think what the basketball show is talking about, or is referring to, when we talk about just being fans of basketball and how much we love basketball. I tell you guys right now, a lot of us still play basketball, and myself included. And a lot of times, when you're playing basketball now, you're playing just to play because you just love to play the game. And we talk in question a lot of times, would these guys really be playing, or would they still be playing the game if they weren't paid to play? A lot of these guys don't seem like they love the game like that. They're not willing to want to go out there and lay it on the line. That's why they're going to load manage, and they're going to, lollygag on the basketball court. And a lot of these things, they'll get fans ejected. I mean, that wasn't even a possibility back in the day. Now it's like a common theme now. Hey, man, watch what you say to these guys, because security will come after you. All these guys got to do now is look at you. If someone even thinks you said something now, they're on top of you now. And they act as if guys weren't getting heckled back in the day. Like, everyone just sat at the games and didn't say nothing. Like, it's crazy right now.
Before we move on from the basketball show, 1 or 2 episodes ago, we were debating the corruptibility of Shaquille O'Neal, and it included the B-Ballers show, and we were hoping that you could join in. So do you have any counter thoughts or additional thoughts to that? Also, you can always email me or the real Siberius, angryoldhoops@gmail.com, if you want to get a invitation in the future to be able to chime in.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'd love to have you on.
Yeah, word, for real, man. Like I said, man, shout out to the basketball show again for rolling with us. He's been in the chat for a minute. Like I said, you guys know his channel. I mean, if you don't know, then you're late. But he got a lot of good content over there, so you guys definitely check his stuff out.
Absolutely. All right, Wolfio. WNBA and NBA refs should swap out for a season. I would love to see that, actually. Oh.
That would be interesting.
I got to take your word for it, because I will not watch it.
No. All right, Carl Harvey coming through yet again. Thank you, sir. The LeBron has 4 Hall of Fame careers is to combat the Kobe has 2 Hall of Fame careers. It's been said on video that you could retire 8 or 24. That is done to outdo that notion.
Again, just absolute fucking nonsense. Just the things we have to debate. God damn. The dude ran every single time he left somewhere. He ran every single goddamn time. Running once is enough to remove you from a Hall of Fame career conversation.
Yep.
He's run every time. I mean, running. God damn it, people. We're celebrating someone who runs.
Yep.
Do I have to say anything else?
For it.
I want to fucking slap these goddamn people in the face. Did Colin Coward say this? They all say the same thing, so I'm sure they've all said it by now.
They all say the same thing, so it doesn't really matter. All right, Earn Your O2. Just in case anybody forgot, that's my brother. I'm sure all of the different kids' moms Edwards has could explain why they think he's charismatic.
Wow. Wow. Things you can see on the basketball court or in an interview.
Yo, shout out to Earn Your Row for coming through. That's actually pretty funny when you think about someone like, I mean, listen, Anthony Edwards he has this season coming up for him. This is a big season for him, man. These are the expectations. You and LaMelo Ball, you guys got to stop being and acting like a bunch of goofs. You guys got to come out here and show some maturity. This is the season for Anthony Edwards. He got to show something, man.
Oh boy.
Bunch of goofs. Robin, there's like 8 t-shirts that we need to make for you, bro.
Who's being projected as the leader? Is LaMelo supposed to inspire Ant, or is Ant supposed to inspire LaMelo?
Well, they both came in the same draft class, so it's actually interesting.
Okay, so 2 non-leaders.
Right. Well, it has to be Anthony Edwards. It's obviously it's his team. He's the only one out of those two with playoff experience. Anthony Edwards actually been to a conference finals before. LaMelo Ball's never even played a single minute in the playoffs. So Anthony Edwards, that's like there's a big season for him, leadership-wise, maturity-wise. Like, you have to go out there and show improvement. No more just goofing around, acting like a fool, saying stupid things to the crowd. Go out there and back up that Michael Jordan comparison talk.
I mean, neither of them have played 82 games.
Yeah. Didn't he complain about the rim in order to be compared to Michael Jordan? Because Jordan always did that.
Do what?
He complained about what it felt like to dunk. I can't believe the shit we have to talk about.
And that's why I say, like, how are you going to sit here and tell me that a lot of these guys are going to be competing in some of these eras just over the things that they've said, the things that they've demonstrated? Like you said, the fragility. I mean, Siberius, you just mentioned LaMelo Ball and these guys. You know, he's not going to play that many games. LaMelo Ball, he has a lot of durability issues. So that's why I said it's a very interesting season for the Minnesota Timberwolves and LaMelo Ball, Anthony Edwards, because they're going to have some level of expectations now. And like I said, you guys are going into, I believe, their 7th season in the league. Come on, man.
By the way, I think it's absolute bullshit that Pinky P, Podcast P, left the Sixers before LeBron got there. LeBron and Podcast P should have had to play together.
Oh, that would have been great. I mean, they wouldn't have played together because they're never on the court. But for them to be on the same roster.
The fuck were the goddamn Celtics thinking?
Yeah, see, that's interesting thing. You bring up a Podcast P, a Pandemic P, Pinky P, you know, whatever you want to call him, PEDP. He's very confusing because he's never on the court anymore. He never is. He really isn't. And, you know, a couple of years ago, I told you, he really lost me when he brought his father on his podcast when the Clippers did not offer him a max contract. And his father came on there and was actually, you know, talking against the Clippers organization. It was basically saying, like, how dare you guys treat my son like this? You know, after
what was he for?
Organization.
Was he 4 years old?
What did he do for the organization? What has Paul George done for the Clippers organization? What did they win when he was there? They didn't win. They didn't win a damn thing there, man. I mean, if anything, they choked up several playoff leads when Paul George was there, and he missed a lot of games there. So I'm really confused when you bring your father on the podcast to complain about the Clippers who didn't offer you a max contract. Then you went to Philadelphia and played 35 games.
Dude,
but are we disappointed? Are we disappointed though? Because he's been inconsistent since Indiana, right?
Yeah, I'm disappointed because that's what LeBron James. No, because Podcast P deserves the punishment of playing with LeBron James. That's why I'm disappointed. If Podcast P remained in Philly, his legacy would be shit on relentlessly because he becomes LeBron's teammate.
And remember, we talk about, like, think about how these guys look all these years later. Guys like Paul George on their podcast, Carmelo Anthony. You hear a lot of these guys talk about LeBron James, and they talk about him in a way that's confusing to me. Because if I was those guys, individuals, someone like Paul George or Carmelo Anthony, I would be offended. I would be, like I said, disgusted with LeBron James. And why? Because LeBron James, in fact, cheated guys like Paul George. He cheated guys like Derrick Rose. He cheated guys like Carmelo Anthony. He cheated guys like DeMar DeRozan. A lot of these guys were cheated playing in that Eastern Conference that LeBron James stacked up his teams against. So these guys that had maybe a potential to lead a team to a finals, Paul George lost to the Miami Heat. I want to say at least, I think, 2 seasons in a row to the Miami Heat. So LeBron James stacking up his super team literally blocked guys like Paul George from making a finals. So when you talk about some of the teams that they beat along that time, these are guys that now talk about LeBron James in such a weird way. I'm like, you guys should be like disgusted with LeBron James. Yep. You guys should be like, yo, this guy was cheating us out there. We was out there bringing our team, and LeBron James stacked up against all of us.
But Robin, even back then, if you remember during the whole LeBronto days, right? Even back then, Kyle Lowry and that whole team, they were still very almost subservient to LeBron back then playing against him. So they had like this weird character trait where they were basically saying, DeMar DeRozan was saying, well, you know, if we had LeBron, we would have won while playing against him. So even then they didn't stand on business enough to hate him to the point that like he owns that entire Toronto organization just based on them not having spine enough. Like put his ass on the ground a couple times or something. Like do something. It just shows. And I like DeMar DeRozan. I wasn't a big Kyle Lowry fan, but these dudes don't stand on anything.
Right. And I think I seen someone in the chat say that they lost to the Miami Heat 3 years in a row, the Indiana Pacers. So when you talk about blocking some of the other players, see, this is what I talk about when we say LeBron James, you know, their fans, they act like, oh, y'all just haters. Man, listen, we're keeping the, I'm trying to open your damn eyes here. Wake the hell up. These guys should wake up. LeBron James literally blocked you guys from potentially making a finals run. So maybe your career, maybe your legacy would look a little bit different if you could turn around and say, hey, remember when Derrick Rose led the Bulls to the finals in 2011? They ain't been back since. That was the only time they made the finals after Jordan. You could say that maybe if LeBron James ain't stack up a super team, and all of a sudden they say, yeah, remember when LeBron James shut down Derrick Rose in the Eastern Conference Finals? Remember that, man? Yeah, LeBron James was guarding Derrick Rose on a stacked super team. Oh, my goodness, man. Woe is LeBron James. So, again, you talk about Paul George. Some of these other guys, he stopped y'all, man. And you guys over here promote him on your podcasts. Terrible.
This is a great comment from Pink Lady Scorpio. VJ, Edgecombe, Jaylen Brown, and Embiid's careers are about to take a hit playing with Team Destroyer. Happens to everyone. They're not going to be exempt.
Absolutely, man. They're going to take all. Listen, if the Philadelphia Sixers don't at least make the finals this season, they're going to blame everybody but LeBron James. But if the Philadelphia Sixers win the championship, they're going to give LeBron James so much credit for this championship, man. They're going to talk, man, this it. He's the GOAT. GOAT LeBron James, man. You know it. He's the man. Even though he'd be out there averaging 8 points a game, they're going to say LeBron's the GOAT.
Well, and the thing that's funny, so the media already, did that whole, he has to win 2 chips, but if they win 1, that's all it'll take.
Yep.
I mean, if they make it to the finals and lose, that will still be good enough.
Yep.
Because he was the piece that, that got them over the hump. Which is a joke, but I mean, I don't have anything. Oh, actually, if you guys are still down, I was going to say I am, but we haven't touched Uncut's video about exposing LeBron's fake stats or the fake stats of just the modern NBA.
Oh, yeah. I'll tell you one thing about it right off the bat is that they didn't do the play-by-plays back in the day, which helps me when I'm trying to nail down exactly what got counted as what. Like you can look at the box score. You can look at the box score and see the grand total, but you got to go to the play-by-play to see which one actually was counted or not counted.
Right.
And one more thing. Uncut Hoops' examples made my examples that were already absurd look mild. I mean, I can't believe what I fucking saw. You might as well dribble from outside the goddamn arena.
Oh, like
put
for
the ball in the hoop,
assist?
and it's a goddamn assist from LeBron James
Oh,
from his
God.
home.
Putting 3-4 moves, 10-12 dribbles, a spin move.
Right. And that goes to the standard. That's part of the standard that we were talking and that we've been talking about. The standard for an assist is a lot different now. Even like the standard for a rebound, like what you had to actually go through to get a rebound back in the day was a lot different, man. The kinds of rebounds that we see a lot of these guys get today are these wide open rebounds where no one's around you. Everyone's already running down the court, right? I mean, they're chucking up threes when there's no one down to rebound or box out. So a lot of flat-footed rebounds, standing around rebounds. So the standard for all this stuff has changed.
Obviously the assists are egregious and it's people making their own play off of a pass, but the rebounds, just the fact that they're so uncontested.
Yep.
That even when there are other guys, one guy jumps. Not 4 guys jump, one guy jumps. The other guys are all standing straight kneed, flat foot, and just
right.
jump out
And
of the way.
sometimes it's the guy on the other team.
Yeah, exactly right. Yep. Yeah, that's the truth right there. And when you say some of these videos, some of these assists are egregious. So again, when you talk about some of the numbers and what some of these guys are doing, once again, like we talked about with someone like Dominique Wilkins, like what's he going to look like? How dynamic is he going to be when he's allowed an extra step? What does John Stockton's assist numbers look like if he's given more leeway? The standards are lowered for what they count him, for assists. These guys have to genuinely have an assist for it to be counted.
Absolutely. And not for nothing, Robin, John Stockton didn't spend $2 million a month on his body either, racking up all those assists as a standard sized guard back then.
Right.
Just cutting the league up with Karl Malone.
Exactly.
You mean to tell he can do that? He can do that as a prototypical guard that doesn't exist anymore, and we can't get a traditional guard these days. That's not just ISO man.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, once again, man, shout out to John Stockton, man, who's always out there. Like I said, man, the dude was on his way to a game, got into a car accident, and still playing the game. So once again, shout out to John Stockton, who went out there and showed up. And when we talk about some of the great passers, some of the great point guards in NBA's history, and sometimes we talk about the flash of a Magic Johnson or the flash of a Isaiah Thomas or a Jason Kidd, and even Bob Cousy, the flash that some of these guys had at that position. Pistol Pete Maravich. John Stockton didn't necessarily have the flash of those guys, maybe. But when you talk about the precision that John Stockton played with, so when you talk about the passes he's making to Karl Malone and a lot of these other guys, John Stockton's putting those passes on the money, man. That was his greatest strength, man. I mean, he was just a crisp, precise passer.
Absolutely. All right, well, let's check out this video. I mean, we don't have to get through the whole thing. It's pretty long, but let's check it out.
And the Rockets are much more intentional about running direct action for him without Kevin Durant on the floor.
Yep, there you go.
It's just a matter of time before Thompson's going to become an all-star. Kennard finds some room, knocks down another.
At 41 years, 109 days old, the oldest guy ever with 10 assists in an entire game, much less a half.
It's all a fugazi. You know what a fugazi is?
Fugazi. It's fake.
When looking at basketball discourse in 2026, stats, numbers, events, analytics play a big part in how fans talk about basketball, discuss players, as well as teams. And looking at one stat requires a ton of context. That is an assist. Assists back in the 50s, 60s, what was deemed an assist was very, very strict. I'm talking it's a pass, shot, an immediate shot. Take a dribble, it's not an assist. Today, that seems crazy. When the pre-merger NBA, that was routinely what an assist was for Jerry West, Sam Jones, and the great guards of that time period. Now, looking at today's video, while I'm talking assist,
I mean, Christ, you could give the referee who threw the ball up at the tip-off an assist at this point.
I like that.
Do you want it to go longer specifically? Because I just feel like we've got more than enough ammo already, but we can.
I mean, no, that pretty much says it all right there.
You know what? Let me add to that. The fact that there are many, many, many more examples to go with that already goddamn completely absurd example. Hey, what else do we need to say, people? What
back that graphic up that they showed with Trae Young and Oscar Robertson. Can you back that up a second, real Siberius?
Yeah. Oh, red-faced bastard.
Right. So when you look at this graphic and they have Trae Young and Oscar Robertson here, fewest games to 7,000 points and 2,500 assists in NBA's history. Oscar Robertson, 247 games. Trae Young, 278 games. And then you think about, again, how they're counting assists now. This is what we're talking about. This is why it's important for us to educate and set the record straight on how they track assists, right? And how these guys came up with these final total stats. That's why you have to question a lot of these things and how, these guys are going to end up on these all-time lists, blowing past some of these other guys' numbers. And
Shout out.
Oh, yeah, man, Trae Young's way better than Oscar Robertson. Look how many assists he got, or look how many points he scored, or this guy's better than this guy because he won an MVP and this guy didn't. It's laughable stuff to me.
Shout out to Sports and Fitness Rants for queuing in on the fine details between the details, because this is just a screen grab from a well done video by Uncut Hoops, and yet you could blow past it because of all the other content in the video, and yet this by itself is very worthy of attention.
Absolutely, it speaks volumes.
Thanks for being here, Spee.
Without context, it's more impressive than it actually is.
Think about if you they have him side by side with Oscar Robertson, and I'm not trying to tear down Trae Young, man. He's a good player, Trae Young, man. But when you put him side by side, remember this is from a couple of seasons ago. When you put it side by side with Oscar Robertson, and you make this thing about in great company, and then you think about has Trae Young ever been on the level of Oscar Robertson? He was never on the level. When Oscar Robertson first came in the league, man, he's an MVP candidate. You know what I'm saying? He's like one of the best players in the league immediately, man. Trae Young has never been on Oscar Robertson level, man. But now you make this assertion because of the number of points and assists that he have gotten, maybe in a relative amount of games.
We're forced to talk about Trae Young. Why are we talking about Trae Young? Pink Lady nailed it.
You can't say we talk about LeBron only.
Exactly. Isn't he on the fucking Wizards now or something?
Yes.
Oh, he dropped Clutch Sports. Shit, he might be sent into oblivion.
No, he's signed by Jordan Brand, AOH. They'll be hoisting him up to the front.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, he's a Jordan Brand guy. He dropped from Adidas and went to Jordan Brand. So be on the lookout for them to hoist him right to the front in his non-winning ways.
Why don't they show how many rebounds Oscar Robertson had during that stretch also when he accumulated those assists and those points? They won't put that up there because, again, when you throw in the rebounds that Oscar Robertson also accumulated and you talk about what he was getting as far as accolades, MVP recognition, the all-NBA first teams that he was making in a stacked era with all-time greats. It was pretty much him and Jerry West as the premier guards during that time. If you include those kinds of things, it'll show and prove why he's miles away from Trae Young, man. And again, man, it's not to knock him, man, and tear him down. But that's why these graphics, to me, once again, are not really giving you a full picture and giving you an education on Oscar Robertson.
Yeah, but it's destroying the past, Robin, which is its intent, right? The irony is that we're supposed to be in this analytics era, right? But this is what you see. You actually have to delve into it, per your point, to see no, these numbers don't add up unless you give them the actual context. But those are the times we live in. I think I brought this up last week. All that plus minus bullshit stopped mattering when you couldn't use it to prop up LeBron anymore, right? So you're seeing the irony just in live action. Yeah, Trae Young did it in 278 games. Cool. But what does Trae Young do other than have a stupid ass celebration? What does he? No, seriously. No. Seriously, think about it. He's easy to market because the kids love the cellies, right? They love the celebrations. So he'll hit his random half court jumper and do his little "it's cold in here, there must be some Bravos or Toros in the atmosphere" bullshit, right? But he won't win. It doesn't equate to winning, but it sells jerseys, it sells sneakers. So this is a sexy stat, right? If I'm trying to sell something to a young fan, it's obvious. But for whatever reason, people don't pick up on it.
You touched on something that made me go dark, but the fact that people are really into celebrations shows that it's all about self-worship.
Yeah.
These Instagram accounts, these social media accounts. How many people don't even include the place that they traveled to in the image of their social media shots because it's about them instead of what the subject is supposed to be? And the same thing has happened to basketball. Are you talking about your team? Are you talking about winning? Are you talking about the game of basketball? Or are you talking about the fucking self-serving social media self-worship world that we live in right now. Like, it used to actually be really commendable to be the guy that did what was necessary for the team's success. We've gone so far from that even if you are clearly a detriment to your team, as long as your social media appearance is engaging, you're forgiven.
Yo, I think we have to acknowledge that my man Speem quoted "Bring It On" the movie. Yo, shout out to my man Speem, man, for shouting out and quoting.
Bring It On is a fire movie. I'll die on that hill. You kidding
me? Shout out to Bring It On. All right,
absolutely. Shout out to Bring It On.
Shout out to
Sparky Pilastri. Yup.
Shout out to me for not having ever seen that. Fuck y'all. Shout out to me.
Shout out to Sparky Pilastri and are you kidding me? Or I'm not. Yo, it's a fire movie. There's nothing wrong with that. Period.
Shout out to you, man, for like I said, quoting that movie.
Absolutely.
You know, one thing I want to also add on to the Oscar Robertson Trae Young thing is, again, when they mention the points that Trae Young has scored in comparison to Oscar Robertson, you know, fewest games to 7,000 points. Remember, Trae Young's game is, you know, predominantly 3-point shooting. Oscar Robertson, man, like, you know, when you talk about what he was doing, there was no 3-point line when he was playing. So again, anyone out there that's surprised that I know that movie, don't forget I have a daughter, guys. So remember, I've seen a lot of these movies that maybe you didn't think I would see, and I've definitely seen Bring It On several times.
Yeah, there's Robin's excuse. Movie. What's Speam's?
It's a fire movie. Listen, you said a secure individual to open. So what? It's a fire movie.
I dare you. I'll put myself out there. I've seen Bring It On. I saw the sequels.
Why is it fire?
I like what I like.
Bring It On is actually a funny movie. It actually is. It is good.
Hey, wait, it's a fire movie, bro. I'm telling you.
It's good.
All
right.
Right.
It is, man.
My bad.
It's actually funny.
It was for sure.
Shout out to Sparky Pilastri and Spirit Fingers. I don't know. It might be time to wrap it up here. If this is what I mean, we were talking about Jerry curls early. What are you talking about? Yeah, I get the shit for talking about Bring It On. You guys were talking about Jerry curls an hour and a half.
Well, that came from at least Jerry
curls.
Somebody paid. Somebody paid for us to talk about Jerry curls.
I was going to say we didn't just randomly bring it up.
All right.
Yeah, shout out to Jerry Curl. Shout out to Soul Glow. Like I said, man, shout out to all the S-Curl people. Shout out to Murray's hair pomade. Shout out to 360 Sporting Waves. The Black Can. Yo, once again, just shout out to everybody out there, man. A Royal Crown hair product. Shout out to everybody out there that use this stuff. The do-rags that we rock. Anyone that got waves. You know, waves was a big deal for a lot of us out there. Back when I had hair, I used to always try to get the waves. You know, when you were in the military, you couldn't have long hair. Your hair couldn't be that long. So, you know, the waves was very important when you kept your hair short. So once again, shout out to everybody out there, man. They used to rock all the hair products from back in the day, man, with the brush, always brushing.
This is actually a facial mask. I'm not doing red face. This is I'm cleaning my pores.
I'm just saying, man. I remember I used to go to the club, man. My boys, man. Back when I lived in Virginia, I was in the military. Once again, I used to go to some of these clubs, man, and you used to wait for the last minute to take that do-rag off, man. You wait for the last minute, man. You be in the parking lot pimping. You be pre-gaming, waiting to go in the club, man. And you be in the apartment. You wait to take that do-rag off to the last minute so that them waves was just right. They was just holding down. You made sure all that stuff was just tight, man.
True that.
You know what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying?
Anyway, has no idea what the hell you're talking about.
You used to go down to all them spots down there in Virginia
Beach. He's Googling this shit. Everything you said, he's Googling as we speak, Robin.
Dude, I had curlier hair. I had curlier hair than you, Speam.
No, no, you didn't.
I had hair. Let's stop at that. I had hair.
We can do that. We can do that. I got pictures of that. I'm sure everyone wants to see that.
People in the comments, they know the deal, man. They know what I'm talking about. They was doing the same thing, using the same products, man. I told you, man, we was in there deep, man. I'm talking about you put in the finger, man, you was on that joint, you had it in there, and you be brushing that joint, and you put the thing on tight, man. We was ready to go. Or you went the other way. You went and got that activator, right? You went and got that activator, so you got that nice little curl. You know what I'm saying? I told you, I'm half white, so I used to have the little nice curl. I would throw the little gel in the hair, man, with the curl, man.
What the fuck is happening?
Oh, Robin, you're halfway too. Oh, that's why we're here. So we're one black person, bro. All right, it makes sense now. I get it. Okay.
Oh boy.
So that's why we're here. All right.
Well, that's why I had to read up because apparently I'm not minority enough.
United Nations, NBA, United Nations, right here.
I'm just saying, man. I remember that stuff.
Dakota says, I was blonde when I was a baby. I was blonde too, and then I got dark, extremely curly hair. That's so interesting how that happens. Except that I'm white. I don't know what Dakota's background is.
Oh man, I'm saying, man, good times, man. Good times, man. I said, when you have hair, you have possibilities. When you don't have any hair, there's no possibilities, man. So, now you wake up in the morning, that's what you got. That's all you got. That's what it is. It's like semi-bald or all the way bald. There's no I'm going to try this hairstyle when I go to the barbershop. I'm going to go get this tape fade, or I'm going to go get this blowout. I'm going to go get this. I'm going to go try this hairstyle. There's no possibilities when you lose your hair. So that's what really, I think a lot of people get upset with is the possibilities, man. I don't think it's necessarily being bald because, like I said, I always look at what I do have, not what I don't. But it's the possibilities, man. You have options when you have hair.
You rock the Murray's pomade, Robin?
Murray's, absolutely. I told people in the comment, they remember Murray's? Yo, that Murray's was like tar. That thing hit your hair? Dang.
We have derailed.
I'm telling you right now, that Murray's hit your hair and bang, it's tight. And I told you, when you put the royal crown on top of it, it makes it shiny. So when you in the club and that light hits the hair, it makes the waves look crazy, man. I'm just giving you the facts, man. When that light hits it on the angle, it's like boing, 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 boing. Man, be shining. You be out there shining, man. That's why you gotta wait for the last minute to take that do-rag off. You gotta be like, right before you get on the line, man. You be, all right, man, we get out of the car. All right, you take the do-rag off. You look in the mirror real quick, man. You hit the little edges real quick to make sure that the edges is nice and tight. And then you get up online.
Siberius, you've seen Rocky IV, right? Like, when he's supposed to throw in the towel so Apollo Creed doesn't die. Like, I feel like that's what we're approaching here. Just something
I was going to say, I mean, our viewers are dropping out like there's a fire in here.
Oh, damn, that hurts, man.
That's amazing.
That's because they thought we was wrapping it up and we kept on talking, about random stuff.
Shine on, you crazy diamond. One good comment out of all of this fucking nonsense.
Pink Floyd.
Well, unlike the rest of you motherfuckers, I can actually go out and still experiment with that pomade. Let's see what I look like next time.
Yeah, a shout to Casual Gamer Plays. Says shout to Robin for rocking that Murray's pomade. I'm telling you guys right now, the pomade. I told you, remember, don't forget Sporting Waves. There was Sporting Waves. There was the black one and the gold one. I used to always get the black Sporting Waves, 360 waves.
Okay.
I had my scalp peeled back off of my skull twice, and I still have the most hair in this panel.
Oh, stop it.
I have zero hair. Yes, I have.
You never see
hair. Bald and proud.
Dude, I blocked out the sun without using any product. I just blocked out the goddamn sun.
Yeah, I ain't got no hair neither, man.
You guys think that this fro came from nowhere. No, that's what I looked like. Now I'm just gray, so it's weird looking. Like, you can't have a gray fro and white skin. If I had black skin and a gray fro, that'd look cool. But it's just one big, like, pale blend. Once your hair turns pale, it doesn't look cool anymore.
I'll post a picture on my channel of my hair only grew up. It was so thick and dense that it only grow up. That's why I have to shave it like this, because it's just unmanageable. Like,
well, who do you attribute that to? That's not Native American or Mexican.
Sure, it is.
What?
My dad was the same way. My grandpa was 100 years old when he passed away. Still had a full head of hair.
Yep.
Yeah, but not like not fro. How did it go upward?
Thick, dense. I'll post a picture. I'll bring a picture for next live and show it to you guys, because it's crazy. Right. It's not curly at all. It's straight.
Oh,
it just stands up.
Oh,
because it's so damn thick.
Like Doc Brown in Back to the Future.
Yeah.
You know, I want to say one more thing while before we leave about the do-rags. Once again, there were so many different ways, not only different products for you to put in your hair, different ways for you to style it, but there were so many different ways for you to tie the do-rag, man. And I remember there were so many different styles of do-rags. There were multicolored ones. There were ones that were, just solid colors, right? I mean, there were all different kinds of do-rags, but there were also many different ways for you to tie your do-rag. All right. So again, man, a shout out to the do-rag wearers or anyone that used to wear do-rags, or some of the young people out there that still doing it. If you still have hair and you doing it for the waist, that's why a lot of us laugh at LeBron James, man, because you'll watch him in the post game in the locker room and he's wearing do-rags. He's brushing his hair really hard with that brush. And you're like, dude, what are you brushing? Because we all been there. We all were there, man. We used that brush. We used the do-rags. We used the hair product when we had hair, to brush, when we had hair to use product on. And the do-rags had so many different ways that you could do it, man. So again, man, once again,
okay,
you guys out there, thank you very much again, man.
No, serious question. So what is he trying to do? I mean, is he trying to pretend he's part of something by doing something that he doesn't need to do? I seriously don't understand. How do you comb a bald head?
That's gotta hurt.
No, honest to God, what's he trying to accomplish? Is that supposed to be a cultural or a community thing? You don't have anything on that goddamn scalp.
I think it's denial. I don't think he's willing to. I mean,
that's denial beyond.
You don't have people CG on your hair.
I'm telling you guys, that's why we laugh, man. When people say, "Oh, y'all just hating," why are you guys talking about? It's just funny because again, why? There's no guys. I haven't brushed my head in years, man. What am I brushing?
Yeah, how's it hating?
Brush. If I walked outside the bathroom tomorrow morning and I was brushing my head, my wife would look at me like, "What the hell are you doing, you idiot? What are you brushing here?"
I know we're in the weeds here, but I just if there are any LeBron fans in there, explain to me what is good about brushing a bald head or wearing a do-rag over a bald head. I don't know. Tell me one redeeming quality about pretending something's happening that isn't happening.
I don't know. I mean, they pretend he's great.
Yep.
Well, yeah, but now you're talking about basketball again. I want to act like a LeBron fan or ESPN, as we've done for the last half hour of this show. I think we may be on to something here, guys. Let's just talk about absolute, complete, total nonsense, and we'll be on the level of ESPN.
Right. I mean, Steve, I saw you posted something about that they put fake hair on LeBron James for that movie. And you're absolutely right. They be CGIing on hair for this dude. I mean, it's laughable stuff, man.
No. I got a better one. The fucking shop where he pretends to go get his haircut. They put fucking prop hair on the barbershop bib that you put over them. It's like his head's fucking empty, and yet they got this big old clump of dark, thick hair on top of the fucking haircut napkin.
That's actually pretty damn funny. Listen, I cut my son's hair. I mean, this is funny stuff, man.
Oh my God.
All right, real quick, I need to get to these. Austin Casey just gifted Angry Old Hoops 5 memberships.
Austin Casey.
Let's see. Casual gameplay is LeBron at his post-game interviews in the locker room, brushing bald flakes all over the mic.
It's so weird. I'm just confused at a core
Jeremy
level.
Jones, shout out to Afro and Ultra Sheen.
Afro, yo, once again,
no love
that ain't
to
nothing but ultra. That's no, it's natural juices and berries.
Damn, boy, what you
all
putting
right?
there?
Well, I'm gonna jump off this sinking ship.
Yeah.
It's probably wise.
But I want to thank everybody in the chat for showing up. Thank you so much for all of the supers. We absolutely appreciate it. Thank you, Sports and Fitness Rants, Speem, and AOH for always joining and coming through. Another great show. Any of you guys have any last words before we check out?
Shout out to our social and cultural leader, Redface.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah, no, thanks again, guys. I appreciate it, man. I love doing these live shows with you guys. I had a great time again. Thank you very much, everybody in the chat. Again, you guys are great with the support, man. I know that, we went off a little bit off the rails there, but, that's what makes the live shows, that much better. So thank you, guys, again. Hope you guys have a great rest of your week.
Shout out to the history of the steam engine, which everyone will find after they search this show.
Listen, it's because you're drunk. It's okay. These are good. No, these are good jokes. I can't hate on them. I have no response. These are impressively relative jokes. I'm very proud. It is a big day for you. I hope we celebrate the same day next year, 1 year anniversary. Are you saying something funny? Shout out to everybody. Appreciate you guys dealing with us, dealing with me, and the obvious racism from AOH.
Yeah, it's blatant.
Everyone else is okay. Oh, shout out to Robin for being half white. Yo, together, you and I, one whole black person, bro. Congratulations.
How do you not know that already? I thought everyone knew that.
I don't ask those questions. I'm not AOH.
You're gonna let him latch onto your blackness in order to become
latch. You hear that? He calls us. He says latch, right? Like a parasite. See what I'm saying? He can't help himself.
Speam, you're whiter than every panel on YouTube combined.
See, Mike, listen here. Listen to the microaggressions.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
See you guys later.
Racism is so overt, it's covert.
I apologize, Richard Jefferson.
No, too late. The internet's forever. Appreciate everybody.
All right. See you guys next week or Sunday.
Jesus. Yep.